Hello and welcome back to another episode of the H3 Show. We are coming at you live from an undisclosed location. It is a cloudy day here in Los Angeles, and I am your host, Ethan Klein. Just kidding. Welcome to Lost Aux Media. If you are new to the show, I'd like to welcome you. This is a podcast where we make you take a second look at what you just watched, covering some of the craziest jamokes across the comedy and podcast internet circuit. And if you are a returning listener, I'd like to thank you for putting up with our little unwanted break. I know it seems like it's been forever. How long? A month? 2 months? 3? 17? Has it been a year? It seems to me like it's been like a year. I've been sitting back, grinding my teeth, watching all of these things happen across all social media channels and all internets. And I can't say anything about it because I didn't have my setup. We're moving spaces, we're doing all these things, hence the break. But now we're here, we're very queer. And I'd like to thank you for joining me on our first episode back. Welcome to Lost Aux Media. What did we miss? We missed like so much. Kill Tony ends up going on Netflix. Everyone and their mother is talking about The Last of Us and the White Lotus. Let me tell you right now, if you liked the last season of the White Lotus, there has to be something wrong with you. What have we become as a society? We're watching this, it's nothing's happening for like the whole season until one episode at the end. And you hear these people talking about it on other podcasts. Andrew Schultz sitting there going, oh, well, the creator of the show, he got everyone hooked in with the first 2 seasons. So like now he knows he can do like whatever he wants and he can reel you in. Shut the hell up, dude. All right? We need stuff to happen every episode. We can't let everything build up and then everything happens in one episode. It's not even that good. It's like all stuff that we've seen before. A couple people get shot. It's like, who cares, man? You know, what else happened? Trump ends up dropping a bunch of tariffs on China, which, you know, I'm all for that. Whatever Trump wants, bro. We give him whatever he wants. iDubbbz ended up dropping a content cop, right? It's like his first content cop in like years. I think it was like over 5 years or something like that. This guy hadn't dropped a content cop. And then when he did, who does he end up dropping it on? Ethan Klein. We'll be talking about that and some more stuff having to do with Mr. Klein in the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment a little bit later. But I wanted to talk about Cousins right now. You guys familiar with this Cousins, right? Kanye West ends up dropping this song. I gotta turn off the music for this one. You know the song I'm talking about. He's like, I was hanging with my cousin reading dirty magazines. We saw 2 niggas kissing, we ain't know what that shit means. And then we started reenacting all the shit we seen. That's when I get my cousin head, I get my cousin head, I get my cousin head, I get my cousin head. You know the song. Don't act like you haven't had that song stuck in your head. I've had that song stuck in my head non-stop. I'm sitting there I'm like doing my laundry, I'm washing dishes at home, and I'm sitting there like, I get my cousin head, I get my cousin. You know how fucked up that is? You know how fucked up that is? Like, and I kind of feel like maybe that like that was his whole point, was to just put out this like psyop of a song to get it stuck in everyone's head. Because think about it. The song is so bad, right, that like everyone's sharing it. Everyone's like sharing it online. Like, yo, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, you know what I mean? So they're all sharing it. It's gonna get stuck in everyone's head. With how many people are sharing this thing, it's gonna get stuck in his head. Then he's sending tweets out like, I'm Kanye, and when I sucked my cousin's dick until I was 14 years old. Until you were 14 years old? Like, what in the actual fuck is happening here? You know what I mean? So he throws like these random tweets out there, draws more attention to the song. Now more people are sharing it, and it's gonna get stuck in more people's heads. So think about it. Everyone's out there in their minds. You're seeing teachers nurses, priests, nuns, you know? And in their minds, they're sitting there. I gave my cousin hair. I gave my cousin. You know how insane that is? But I'm with it right now. I feel like Cousins could potentially take the number one chart spot. I feel that. I feel like it could happen that way. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, there's something to it. And everyone's getting so upset about it. Like, you're seeing these people like, yo, I didn't know Ye was gay, man. And Ye and gay rhyme. So there might be something to it. Everyone's getting all upset about it. It's like, okay, he sucked his cousin's dick. It's like, who cares, man? It's 2025. You can't suck your cousin's dick? Right now, it's like, what does it matter? I think that the reason people are so upset about it is because it's stuck in their head and what they're saying when they're singing it in their minds. So it's like, if you don't like the song that much, don't listen to it. Or fucking remix it. Remix the song. You know how dope that would be if there was like a love style ballad where, like, I don't know, Mariah Carey's like, I gave my cousin, hey, 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 hey. And then the piano is like, I gave my cousin, hey, hey, hey. You know what I mean? That would be fire. Or like a fucking, like a doo-wop or something like that. Like you use like a 50s style, 40s, 50s style, like 8 dudes standing in a circle, sitting outside of a barbershop. And they're like, a boom, boom. He gave his cousin head, yeah, yeah. He gave his cousin head, he gave his cousin hey, yeah, yeah. I say, ooh, ooh, he gave his cousin hey, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, right there, you're talking number one on the charts on, like, there's levels to this shit. You know what I mean? Like, so you got 3 options. You can either live with the fact that it's stuck in your goddamn head, like me, because this thing is taking over my life, and I'm cool with it. It is what it is, okay? He can suck his cousin's dick. I'll sing about it. Or you can not listen to it, or you can remix it into a 50s barbershop-style doo-wop. You know what I mean? Those are really your only options. So I wanted to start this episode off on a lighter note, though, you know? A lighter note than Cousins. I'll tell you that right now, okay? So if you remember in the last episode before our break, I was telling you guys about my newest internet obsession is a man by the name of Francis Borges. This guy, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if he's just like the most passionate guy ever when it comes to trains, or if he has like a mild form of Down syndrome or a hard case of autism. It's one of those 3 things. And I'm not even saying this as like a joke. This is like, everybody makes that joke. They go, oh, he's autistic, he likes trains. You know what I mean? Like, you hear Logan Paul like say that shit about Mike Malak on his podcast. Impulsion, you know what I mean? So like, people like to make that joke, but this guy, like, it genuinely has more passion for trains than I've seen most people have passion for anything in their lives. And it's one of them situations where it's like, this guy's not trying to be funny, but for some reason, to me, it's fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? There's something about Mr. Francis Borges that I just can't get over. Right? So I'm watching my Francis Bourgeois, you know what I mean? Catching up for the show. I got my stuff all set up. I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to get back to the desk. Okay? By the way, do I look like Ethan Klein? Like, think about it. Do I look like Ethan Klein when I wear this stuff? Right? I look exactly like, don't even act, if you're watching right now, don't act like I don't look like Ethan Klein. I look exactly like fucking Ethan Klein.
I'd be a pedophile for $20 million.
So, going back to Francis Borges, I'm catching up on my Francis Borges, right? This guy is not just a train enthusiast. You know, he's not just a guy who's passionate about the trains. This guy is also a multi-platinum awarded artist. This guy is dropping, I am talking fucking fire, bro. If you like trains as much as me, this is gonna be Cousins, yay who? Yahoo. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna have a puff while we listen to this. So I suggest you do the same. This is how we're gonna start out the episode. Cause I'm telling you, I'm warning you now. Going into the What's Eating Ethan Klein section, it's gonna be rough. All right, it's gonna be rough. So let's start out smooth and on a positive note with Mr. Francis Borges. Take it away, Francis. Take it away, Francis. I said that already.
Today, I'm saying goodbye to Class 456s. They've served our network for 30 years. It's their last day today, and I've written a song for them.
Look, hold up. Hold up. Before we get into the song, did you hear what he just said? This is what I'm talking about. This guy, the train is going out of commission, right? And he wants to say goodbye to the train. He wrote the train a farewell song. He wrote the train a farewell song. Come on, man. Like, this is fucking awesome. And then when you hear it, I'm telling you, this is fucking fire, bro. This shit is fire, okay? So now take it away, Francis.
A song for them. Flowing through you, 750 volts DC, electrical discharge is fine by me. Vibrant colours, orange, red, yellow and blue. To and from Waterloo, I love riding on you. Coasting through suburban London, you are free. Your traction motors resonate with me. British Rail engineered 2-car EMU. Just like the third rail, I am connected to you. 456, forever you will be with me. Take it up to the top notch, run wild, let those traction motors scream.
Oh shit!
Today-
Dude, no, for look at Francis. Come on, man. This guy is the shit. Like, this guy is the fucking man, dude. And it's so funny listening to, it's funny when you hear like British people try to do like raps and stuff like that. And he's like doing like the hype man shit at the end. He's like, yeah, the train coming down the tracks on the electric system. Go ahead and break it down one more time for the train, mate. It's coming through, but it won't be coming through for long. Booyakasha, you know what I mean? And the song is so good. He's sitting there like, I'm riding on the train. I'm going through track 6,969. I'm inside of you. I'm feeling all inside your interior. I'm feeling your inner walls, mate, and it feels good, I'm sure, to you. Because I'm inside you, I'm wiggling around, trying to hit all the good spots and the nooks and the crannies in the train. I think the train's about to come, and I'm riding with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm riding the train every day. This is like, come on, man. Come on, dude. Just one more time. Look at all right. The one part I like a lot is when he's like, he says like the colors of the train. He's like orange, red, yellow, and blue. And then it cuts to a picture of him in front of the train. And he's like pointing to the train, but he's like doing it like it's like like how you think the whitest guy you know, right, would take like a cool rap photo. He's got like his two fingers. He's like, I'm riding in front of that train. It's red, yellow, green, blue, yellow. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking hilarious. And this is adorable. I mean, this guy, autistic, Down syndrome, normal human being, whatever you want to call it. This guy is adorable.
Today, I'm saying goodbye to Class 456s. They've served our network for 30 years. It's their last day today, and I've written a song for them. Flowing through you, 750 volts DC, electrical discharge is fine by me. Vibrant colours, orange, red, yellow and blue. To and from Waterloo, I love riding on you.
Dude, that's
Coasting
fucking hilarious.
Suburban London, you are free. Your traction motors resonate with me. British Rail engineered 2-car EMU. Just like the third rail, I am connected to you. 4, 5, 6.
Just like the third rail, he's connected to the train, he's saying. That's how connected to the train he is. And when you listen to the rap, like when you actually listen to the lyrics, it's just, he's just doing like the specs of the train. Like that's all he's saying. So you hear him, he's like 450 volts DC, you know what I mean? He's like, electric current is fine by me, the trail runs on 2 track. Like he's just talking about like the fucking features of the train. That's like, I mean, give it up for Francis Borges, man. This guy, I love Francis. It's a great way to start this episode, I'm telling you, because the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment, I mean, it's rough, it's rough. Do you guys know that, I'm going to tell you this one. This is a side note, but it has to do with the H3 show. It's so funny. Ethan, this is nothing really to do with them, but it's just ironic how these things happen to play out. Ethan and the H3 show, they're very big on like fair use, right? And they are very fair on that. How many times we cover the show, I've never gotten anything from them. Not a copyright, nothing. Like Ethan will sue somebody, you know what I mean? You talk a lot of shit, you don't say allegedly, he'll sue you, but he doesn't. They don't care about people using their shit, right? But you know that Waiting song, that one that's like, and like Zach will play it when there's just like nothing going on, and like when Dan's reading like super chats, he plays it. I'm gonna play it a little later, but I wanted to get this point out first. Now for that song, the rights to it got bought by Epidemic Sounds, which is a company that they probably use for their stock audio. So their channel won't get hit for that because they pay for the subscription. I don't. So when I cover them, if that song, this song right here, if this song is playing during me covering an H3 show, like if they have it playing in the clip that we're watching, the whole episode gets demonetized. So now, listening to this right here, me showing you this, say goodbye to the money. We're not making it now. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to do it to you. It's a kaputz, okay? It's over with. All the $13 that we would have made from this episode, it might as well just set it on fire, It's no big deal, though. We get right into the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment. So, last we had talked about Ethan. He was really on like this crazy downward spiral, like going on and on and on about Hasan Piker, how everything happening to him, everyone's criticisms of him every time he stubbed his toe, how it was anti-Semitic. And he was really, really digging into this whole rhetoric, right? And it is, feelings are feelings. We understand that. As a matter of fact, we love that around here. We love feelings around here at Lost Aux Media. We love it. So I understand he can feel the way he feels, but the way that he was just constantly bitching about it, complaining, it was like he was dedicating full episodes to this. They would legitimately have full planned productions in place. Ethan just forgets all of it. All the segments go out the window. The chats are sending. They're like, "Yo, man, can we please move on, bro? We're sick of talking about Hasan Piker." And he's banning people the whole night. So we're just watching all this go down, right? And then it finally gets to a point to where like Ethan just starts lashing out at friends of his that like have nothing to do with it. iDubbbz being a perfect example of this. If you don't know who iDubbbz is, look him up, all right? We don't have time for this. So iDubbbz being a perfect example of this. They used to be really good friends. They would collaborate with each other a lot on their YouTube content. Now, iDubbbz is just sitting at home, minding his own business, letting someone fuck his OnlyFans wife. And next thing you know, he's watching the H3 show, and Ethan's getting on there going, iDubbbz and Anissa are fucking spineless cowards because they're not sticking up for me because people that they happen to know are saying shit to me that I deem anti-Semitic. Now, to me, that's a lot of degrees separated. You know what I mean? It's like a friend of mine is calling you like a, I don't know, like a Zionist or something like that, Jew, whatever you want to call it. And then, and you're getting upset with me about it. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting at home letting other people fuck my wife. You know what I mean? And And what am I supposed to do with that information? So iDubbbz, he goes and he releases a content cop about this, you know? A whole ass content cop. The guy hasn't released one in years. And Ethan is the one that ends up setting him off. Now, if you're familiar with this content cop, the theme of it, you know, it's more or less to catch people like Jack Doherty. You know what I mean? It's to shed light on people that are on the internet that are like really making asses of themselves or like really fucking other people's lives up and stuff like that, and they're not catching any repercussions of it. And you know what's a content cop gonna do? You know, nothing really. It's just gonna get people talking. But that was the theme of those videos. Really not someone like Ethan. You know what I mean? As much as I like talking shit about Ethan, that's not really someone that you want to. That's not what content cop is. You know. Ethan, as annoying as he is, he's fighting for good. At least in his mind, he thinks he's fighting for good. But all the best villains are convinced in their minds that what they're doing is ultimately for good. Think Thanos when I make that reference. You know what I mean? So iDubbbz, you know, whether it was right, wrong, funny or not, he makes a content cop about Ethan. The content cop more or less not being geared towards Ethan's anti-Semitism claims or his beefs with anyone like that, but it was more or less geared toward the fact that he's like, bro, you're fucking rich, bro. Like, you're rich as fuck. Like, a lot of us YouTubers would kill to have the bank account that you have right now, bro. So, like, why are you should be happy. Like, ultimately, as iDubbbz video was very, very stupid. It was a huge waste of time. A lot of that shit you could have heard on Lost Aux Media. I mean, if I was not on break, okay? So I'll give it to him. But it was like not really all that well put together. It was just more or less him saying like, yo, this guy's like lashing out. He should be like able to kind of like just live his life and brush a lot of these criticisms off. But he's making it a bigger deal than he should. And in doing so, he's now starting to like fuck up relationships with people that used to be close friends of his. And this whole thing, it starts just escalating into this whole fucking thing. Ethan starts reacting to it. Now Hasan Piker is reacting to Ethan's reactions. Hasan Piker still hasn't reacted to Ethan's goddamn content nuke. It's like the whole thing starts. It's a pot that's about to spill over, right? And every single time, Ethan and Hasan, they always have these like meta replies to each other, right? It's like Ethan will reply on his show, but not talking directly. He'll be talking to Hasan, but not directly. He does it through the show, right? And then Hasan hears about it, doesn't watch it, and then on his show, on Hasan's show, he reacts to the telephone game. You know what I mean? It's like fucking crazy. These two could easily have a phone call with each other, and we will get to that because inevitably they end up having a little bit of a debate. But prior to that, you know, during these meta replies and shit, Hasan always had this one weird ass phrase. He'd be like, you gotta talk to Sam Seder, man. Ethan, you gotta talk to Sam Seder, man. You gotta talk to my friend Sam Seder. And it was because Sam Seder's a Jew. Right? Now, you, at face value, the way I just phrased that, you would think that Hasan is being kind of like a little bit prejudiced, being like, yo, bro, you should talk to my token Jew. And in a way, Hasan is. But it was the reason Hasan even brought this Sam Seder guy up is because a lot of times Ethan would try to defend his points by saying, well, who is Hasan to criticize what I'm saying or anything that I'm doing? Hasan's not even a Jew. You know? What the fuck? So Hasan would say, all right, well, if I'm not Jewish, I got a Jewish buddy. You could talk to him. And for a while, Ethan was putting this off. But after that content cop, oh boy, after the content cop, no. Ethan could not put it off any longer. So he finally ends up talking with the token Jew, Sam Seder. Now, I wanted to share a clip from that because this Sam Seder guy, I don't really know jack shit about him. But from these clips, I kind of like his style a little bit. You know what I mean? So let's go to the first time code. And this is going to be Ethan basically trying to weaponize his petty little arguments that and points that he has against Hasan to Sam Seder. And Sam Seder is going to quickly let Ethan know how he feels about that. Let's give it a watch. Let's give it a little bit of a watch.
It also shows a tremendous amount of just like electoral malfeasance on her part. I mean, they made an active choice. And I think, you could have put that Palestinian lawmaker from Georgia on stage. They made an active choice to signal to whomever they were signaling that they weren't going to do anything. Now, I happen to believe that she would have been better on this than Trump, but they were making an active choice to do that. I mean, it was really electoral malfeasance on her part, in my opinion. But I don't know what the point of litigating this is per se. But
we're talking about kind of my criticisms of Hasan and how this well, let me show you this.
I don't care about.
I know.
Honestly, I'm like
Let me show you this. This is
I'm
more.
Not, I don't. I honestly. Like,
yeah, you don't care. I know.
I don't care. I don't.
Look at that. What the fuck? Look at this. I just met Sam Seder. I already like him. Probably my favorite Jew. You know what I mean? Look at this guy. I like that. So right,
and why should you?
Whoa, hold up, guys. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So look at that. Ethan's sitting here, and he even tells this guy. He goes, "Well, these one things that I'm bringing, because this whole thing is ultimately supposed to be like, Sam's basically supposed to hear Ethan out and go like, okay, so like tell me about all the anti-Semitism that you've been experiencing in the world, and I'll kind of like just help you talk through that, because I myself am a Jew. I've experienced tons of anti-Semitism. This guy talks about how like people have thrown coins at him in the street. That's the level of anti-Semitism this guy has experienced. He's a little older than Ethan. He grew up back in the day. It was like the 1930s. Back then they would throw tons of coins at Jews. I guess they would. I don't know. So this is the whole point of this, right? And now Ethan's trying to like railroad this conversation into being like, well, no, but now these points that I'm bringing up, these are about Hasan specifically, right? I want to tell you about my whole thing with Hasan, And Sam right away is like, well, dude, I don't care about that. I don't give a fuck what kind of bullshit you got going on with some petty ass little argument with some YouTuber that you got, This right here is classic. And it's funny because right after this, Ethan's going to go, well, I know that you don't care, and why should you? And then watch what he does right after that. Let's listen to this one more time.
Per se, but
we're talking about kind of my criticisms of Hasan and how this. Well, let me show you this.
I don't care about.
I know.
Honestly, I'm like
Let me show you this. This is
I'm
more.
Not, I don't. I honestly. Like,
you don't care. I know.
I don't care. I don't.
And why should you? I don't blame you. We talked about anti-Semitism, and you think that I don't want to put words in your mouth, right? But you seem to have conveyed that, compared to the destruction and everything happening, the genocide, the loss of life in Gaza, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, that.
I love this. So you notice how Ethan, he wants to make a big point about whatever he's about to try to show Sam having to do with Hasan, right? And when he has that specific issue, you can hear the passion in his voice. He wants to get to that point, right? He's even trying to like cut off Sam to get to that point. And then he gets to the part where he starts talking about the stuff that's happening in Gaza to the Palestinian people, my people. My heart goes out to them. So what's it called? He's talking about these Palestinian people. As soon as he starts talking about their struggle, you can hear it in his voice. He kind of like almost, tumbleweeds it. You could hear it. He goes, well, and then having to do with, like the humanitarian and the struggle and, the devastation and the destruction. And he might as well be going, and going back to Gaza, blah, blah, blah. And then back to my point having to do with Hasan. This is classic Ethan right here.
That's, compared to the destruction and everything happening, the genocide, the loss of life in Gaza, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, that.
And then he kind of catches himself and he starts like ramping it back up. You could see he started falling off as soon as he started talking about something that he doesn't give a fuck about, probably. I don't care. It's like I'm not, free Palestine or on Israel side. I don't care. I got bills at home. You know what I mean? It's like until something happening, it sucks that what's happening over there. But until the Gaza Strip if the Gaza Strip ends up somehow doubling my rent, I'll start caring a lot. But like I got shit that I got to worry about, right? But you notice. He's talking about something that he probably doesn't care all that much about. He's just using it to like weaponize a point, right? He starts to fall off, and then he kind of catches himself. He's like, "Oh, wait a minute, AB is sitting over there. He's watching me. I gotta pretend that I give a shit about this."
Obviously, that's way more important. So let me show you an example of something. And again, I know you don't care about the drama. To me, this isn't drama. This is the.
Oh wait, hold up. Let's go back to that. I want to see that one more time.
Blame you. We talked about anti-Semitism, and you think that I don't want to put words in your mouth, right? But you seem to have conveyed that, compared to the destruction and everything happening, the genocide, the loss of life in Gaza, and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
Now he starts bringing it back up.
Obviously, that's way more important. So let me show you an example of something. And again, I know you don't care about the drama. To me, this isn't drama. This is one of the biggest, most influential streamers. Spreading something that I think is really dangerous. And you can agree or disagree, but it's a short clip, but I'll show it to you, and you tell me what you think.
This will never happen, but in a totally just world, any kind of, regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi. And you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting if they've ever exhibited any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about
Look
this.
Look at Sam. Hold up. Look. When Hasan's talking about this, look at Sam, dude. Sam doesn't give two fucks. Watch this, dude. He just got done telling Ethan he doesn't care about this. And Ethan now is basically just forcing him to watch it. Sam's like sitting there like, I could be at home eating dinner with my wife, my lovely Jewish wife.
Any kind of, regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid
this
neo-Nazi.
Guy don't give a fuck right
and
now.
You shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting if they've ever exhibited any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
Now, I'm super serial about this. I am super serial. So I know I was zooming in on Sam and stuff like that. I'll fill you guys in on what Hasan said. He's basically said, he's like, anyone who is exhibiting like positive feelings towards Israel should be treated as like a neo-Nazi and shouldn't be fit to even be like a dog walker or some bullshit like that, right? In essence, that's what he's saying. And he's saying, and he tries to strengthen this by saying, anyone who's exhibited positive feelings about Israel at any time in their life, if you've ever thought Israel was cool, like we all did back in the day, bro, then you shouldn't even be able to like walk dogs. First of all, nobody wants to walk dogs. I mean, that's what we have immigrants for, I thought, right? And trust me, those jobs are gonna Trump's deporting people, bro. So there's gonna be job openings for dog walkers, all right? But that's beside the point. Now, basically, he's hyperbolic about it, but he's basically saying that Zionists, you know what I mean? If you're a Zionist, you shouldn't be treated with respect. You shouldn't be even fit to walk a dog if you're a Zionist who believes in the genocide of the Palestinian people. It's kind of like what he's talking about, but he's a content creator. He just talks shit. He just says it however he knows it's going to like rile people up, right? And it's working like overtime on Ethan right now. And he's trying to weaponize this point to Sam. And again, Sam doesn't give a fuck.
By the way, he didn't misspeak. He doubled down on it yesterday. He said, no, I agree. That's what I think. Now, just to recap, he says, anyone that's had positive feelings at any point about the state of Israel is a neo-Nazi that's not fit to be a dog walker. Now, to me, that seems like extremely dangerous, dehumanizing language about what could arguably be 70% of the Jewish diaspora, and certainly probably people you know in your family.
I'll tell you, there's some hyperbole there, but
Hyperbole.
That's putting it mildly.
I mean, he says Zion.
I love that. Ethan trying to now he's putting his own spin on it. Like, so Sam's being realistic here. Just like I said, Sam's saying he's being hyperbolic, bro. Like, he's not really like being literal when he's saying that. And whether he's being literal or not, Ethan's sitting there taking his statement and equating it to saying, oh, he means all Jews. When he says anyone who's ever exhibited positive feelings about Israel ever in their life, oh, he's referring to just Jews, because only Jews have ever exhibited positive feelings about Israel, you know? And then as soon as Sam puts a realistic spin on it, he's like, well, I think he was being a little hyperbolic. Ethan automatically, well, that's putting it mildly. But why you have to get so literal? Ethan knows exactly what's happening here. And he knows how clickbait works. He knows how clip farming works. He knows what's happening here.
Zionism. And I'll tell you what I think is really...
Sorry, I got to correct you. He says Zionism, and then he says, if you had positive feelings about the state of Israel at any point in your life.
I got to tell you, if you look at what's happening right now, and you have positive feelings about Israel,
he said at any point in your life, Sam. Just to be clear about what he said.
Would I have said at any point in his life, someone's life? But I just think this is such a petty, like the idea that we're going to police. Hold on, let me respond.
Ahead.
You want me to respond this?
No,
I don't. Like I say, I don't care about this. But if you're going to force me to respond to it,
Ooh, I like that. Blow him up, Sam. Blow him up. I love this because Sam's telling Ethan, he's like, dude, I don't want to watch this shit. And you're basically forcing me to respond to it. So if you're going to force me to respond, could you just do me the common courtesy of not cutting me off? Because he probably sees Ethan on his call getting ready, getting riled up and shit. And I'm telling you, even before this time code, Ethan was cut. Every time he asked Sam a question and Sam would go to respond to it, he would do exactly what he did. I'm going to have to stop you right there. I'm going to have to correct you right there. I'm Ethan Klein of the H3 Show. And I'm wearing a suit now. And if you don't know, I'm very serious now that I have this suit on. And I will, and he does it with his hand and he goes wild. You know what I mean? Like, and so Sam is sitting there like, bro, come on, man. Like, if you're going to force me to watch this shit, at least give me the common courtesy of letting me fully articulate my response, bro.
About what he said.
Would I have said at any point in his life, someone's life? But I just think this is such a petty, like the idea that we're going to police. Hold on, let me respond.
Ahead.
You want me to respond this?
No,
I don't. Like I say, I don't care about this. But if you're going to force me to respond to it, what Israel is doing right now is so far beyond the idea that someone says any time in your life or not or whatnot. He's talking about Zionism, and frankly, I think it's very difficult for me to understand how someone could have positive feelings at this time. Now, you want to say in the past and what? Okay.
Yeah.
Like I say, I will grant you at any time in your life that is too broad a step. But wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
But see, you go in and you're making this about anti-Semitism by doing this hopscotch about a poll that people had positive feelings that Jewish people do, and then therefore he is anti-Semitic. And honestly, that type of conflation, I think, is so dangerous and so disingenuous.
God damn.
I mean, I don't want to get too passionate about this.
No.
But I'll tell you something.
Speak your truth, Sam. Speak your goddamn truth. Look, this guy is about to really get fucking riled up here. Cause he's Jew. You know what I mean? And now he's talking to fellow Jew. And he's like, bro, what you're doing right now, like, you're gonna put a target on all of our backs, bro. We got it sweet right now. And you're fucking it up for the rest of us, man. You're really fucking it up for the rest of us. He's basically saying, it's 2025, bro. People are more tolerant than they've ever been. Yeah, people are going crazy on Twitter, but they've always thought that. Now they're just finally letting it out. Nobody's doing it in real life. You know what I mean? Like, so he's like, yo, chill, bro. Like, yeah, there's anti-Semitism out there, but this ain't it. You know? And you're going to make it get to a point to where people are going to have like a cry wolf mentality when it comes to anything that Ethan says is anti-Semitic. You know? Eventually, if you got somebody who's constantly, it's like every time the wind blows one of your shutters shut on your window, it's anti-Semitic. It's like eventually people are gonna be like, he thinks everything is anti-Semitic, you know, and that's how Sam is saying that this is dangerous, right? And this is something that Ethan fails to understand. It's like, yeah, when you have that big of a microphone like Ethan does, it's like you can't make this your only point, and then everybody is sitting there like, just taking everything you're saying with a grain of salt now. And that's the danger that Sam is bringing upon this. And he's about to get passionate about it, but he doesn't want to get too passionate about it. You know, this it's so funny. Look at this guy. He's like a caricature of like a Jew. You know what I mean? But not like one of those, he's not like a caricature of like that people making like the comics where it's like a Hasidic monster, you know what I mean? With a crazy nose and shit. It's not like one of those. He's like he's like a caricature when somebody's like someone in Hollywood, like a comedian like Ari Shaffir. He goes, oh, I got the greatest accountant. He's a Jew. You know what I mean? This guy will find you fucking tax returns that you didn't even know could be tax return. You know what I mean? Like this, and this is him. Every single time that somebody's talking about one of those accountants, it looks like this. This guy. It might not have the beard attachment. You might have the 1.0 version without the beard attachment. But this is like, he's like a caricature of like that type of person. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny. And he's about to get pissed off with Ethan's conflations.
Then therefore he is anti-Semitic. And honestly, that type of conflation, I think, is so dangerous and so disingenuous. I mean, this is, I don't want to get too passionate about this, but I will tell you something. I have had a guy who went to my bar mitzvah, my sister's bar mitzvah, my kid's bar mitzvah, sat at Passover with me 3 or 4 times, call my father and ask him if I'm anti-Semitic.
Imagine that.
Now, this is just one, that is just an example, an illustration of conflating what he's clearly talking about Zionism. Was it hyperbole to say any time in life, whatever? The fact of the matter is this conflation is dangerous for Jews. It is a fig leaf and a way of weaponizing anti-Semitism that has enabled Donald Trump to do the shit he's doing. That has enabled the slaughter of...
Hey, whoa. Donald Trump, bro, chill. Dude, you cannot be talking shit about the Great White Hope like that. All right? Calm that shit down. This guy is really getting passionate about this, you know? If he's bringing Trump's name into this shit... Trump's sitting at home minding his own goddamn business. What the fuck? You know, but no, Trump, I'm telling you guys, if you voted for him, you need to check your boy. You need to check your boy. That guy, it's so funny. Trump, he goes, as soon as he gets in the office, he's like, we're cutting all aid to Ukraine. Ukraine will not get a cent from America. We will make America first. And in the same breath, he goes, we're sending $14 billion to Israel. We're giving them all the weapons that they need, kamikaze missiles. We're giving them everything. We're building hotels in Gaza. We're gonna make Gaza great again. You know what I mean? Like, Trump's going on, bro. But you can't talk about him like this, because he's gonna start turning on you guys. You know what I mean? Don't do it. So... it's so crazy. This is the dangerous stuff that Sam's talking about. This guy said that he had a guy who went to his bar mitzvah, his wife's bar mitzvah, his son's bar mitzvah, his granddad's bar mitzvah. He went to, what else do they do? When they poke the hole through the sheet, and he was there for that, right? And the same guy calls his father and asks his father if he's anti-Semitic. That'd be like calling that'd be like Wesley Snipes' best friend calling his dad and being like, is Wesley Snipes black? You know what I mean? Like, that would be crazy. Wesley Snipes is dark as fuck. You know, so it's like, that is wild, right? That this guy has gone through that. And it's because of stuff like this that Ethan's doing.
Thousands upon thousands of children and women and men, for that matter. It is not keeping Israelis safe. And this type of conflation, Ethan, is what I find far more irresponsible, frankly, than the idea that he said positive any time. I mean, look, you do a show
Sam,
4 hours a day. He does a show 5 or, as far as I could tell, 15 hours a day. And to focus in on that one tiny clause.
This is not one
sentence.
Tiny clip, Sam.
Well,
you don't know.
wait
This is a totality of behavior.
But you wanted
and by
to
the
bring
way,
this
it's
up.
easy,
I don't
and I
care
appreciate
about
that you
Ethan.
can hand wave it away and say that it doesn't.
No, I'm not hand waving it away.
You kind of
I'm
are.
saying this
You're saying it
conflation.
doesn't. You're saying
this
actually
conflation.
I'm wrong
saying-
for caring
I'm
about
saying-
it.
No, yes. In fact, I'm saying this
Yeah.
conflation is incredibly dangerous. It is disingenuous.
I think it's dangerous
right now,
to
there is,
ignore what's being described as
No.
dehumanizing violent language for American Jews.
Look, Ethan, this is childish as fuck, bro. This is childish as hell. Like, he's as soon as Sam says something that he doesn't like, right? Sam expresses his point explicitly, okay? You know, conflation, and as soon as Sam does, like a child, Ethan goes, "Well, I'm happy that you can, you know, hand wave it away because, you know, you clearly don't care about Jews the same way that I care about Jews, you know, like I care about them so much compared to you. Look at this guy. He's fucking unhinged, you know what I mean? This guy is insane, bro. He's insane. And look, watch this one. This is funny. Before we get into the Hasan Piker, I want to show you guys. Let's lighten up the mood a little bit, because that was rough to choke down. I'm telling you, we're not here for that. We're trying to have a good time. You know what I mean? So I want to show you guys this one. This shit had me dying, bro. Look, watch.
He's blazing a blunt. I mean, that's on camera.
Look.
Right. But that's, people know that he smokes weed.
Well, I
and
mean,
also-
okay.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been a
They're
while
talking
since I
about
smoked
Justin
weed, but that can
Bieber
make
right
you
now,
act a little
right?
cuckoo.
How
Yes, absolutely.
Justin Bieber's been looking a little crazy lately in the paparazzi and all the videos that are showing up online. He looks like he's on drugs. Now he's at a concert looking like he's on drugs.
Totally.
Acting cool.
What? That posture is wild.
That's what a lot of people were talking
Look,
about.
pay attention to Justin
And people
Bieber.
are even looking at him like, what is this dude? Like, I feel
looks
like if
like
he
you.
wasn't Justin Bieber, people would be looking at him like, what is going on here?
Look,
But he has been doing this posture, to be fair.
Is that like a gag?
Well, do you guys remember that one
Pay
where he
attention
was
to that
like
neck.
talking about the Bible or something, and he was sitting in the staircase? He was doing the same posture. This is a signature JB move.
Really?
Yeah.
This is more
I know
than
where
I've
he
ever
learned it.
seen. This is more quasi than I've ever seen.
More
Check me
goblin.
out.
Got my screen, Nate?
now look at that one. That's Ethan. Look at that. What the fuck? Ethan got that coffee table neck. Look at this. Watch. If I had my coffee cup, Look, you could rest the whole goddamn pitcher on that guy, on that motherfucker's neck. Whoa, dude, what is happening? I don't know. Look at his neck, dude. He's sitting there making fun of, oh, look, and this Denims girl. Look, Ethan's arch nemesis. Staring down that neck. Now she's going to have the fuel that she needs to talk shit about Ethan once she sees Ethan's coffee table neck. You know what I mean? Hey, bro, what's the weight capacity on that thing, man? I need a step stool. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just lighten it up a little bit because we got some other stuff. We're going to get into Ethan's actual debate with Hasan Piker in just a minute. But before we get into that, I wanted to share with you Ethan's ultimate tick out. You know, keep it light for a little bit longer before we get into the drag that's going to end up being Ethan versus Hasan Piker. Trust me, when we get to those time codes, they're nothing like that Sam Seder. You know what I mean? That was actually interesting because Ethan was like actually letting Sam talk. When we get to the Hasan Piker Ethan time codes, I'm telling you, it's like watching two cats fight. You know what I mean? It's like you can't even understand what the fuck is going on. They're trying to talk all over each other. It's bullshit. But before we get into that, like I said, keep it light, all right? And then we'll check this out. So Ethan, right? He was getting criticism online from one Asmon Gold. If you guys don't know this Asmon Gold guy, I almost don't even want to tell you to look him up. This guy is insane. For one, he's a pretty big streamer, so he's rich as fuck, right? Number two, this guy lives off of like 1% of his total net worth, which is also, I guess, kind of admirable, right? It's like this guy's living off of minimalism, right? His room and like where he lives is like hoarder-esque filthy. It's I think, what do they call that shit online? They call it like rot maxing. Like this guy is like his whole shit. It's like it's almost like a feat, like a goal of his to just not clean for as long as possible. You never see it because you only see the view of him in his streaming chair, right? Everything around that motherfucker is like disgusting. Like, and he could get a maid, bro. It's like, what the hell? You know? So this guy, a guy like that, is criticizing Ethan, whose kids allegedly get Giardia because they're crawling around his house eating dog shit. This is alleged. I'm not saying that's real. Don't sue me, motherfucker. So, anyway, Asmon's criticizing Ethan. Why? Why is he criticizing him? He's saying that Ethan's tick, all the shit he does, and the coughing, the little, you know what I mean? All that good stuff. He's saying that Ethan needs to get a hold of those, man. He needs to really tone those down because it's making people online think that Ethan's taking drugs. Now, this is fucking hilarious in itself, this criticism, because it's this guy has Tourette's, bro. It's like, as much as I want to talk shit about the guy, it's like he can't help it. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? That's like asking a Chinese person to open their eyes more because people, you know what I mean? It's like if you went to like a Asian person and this guy, this Asmon Gold guy goes to like some Asian dude and is like, that guy should really think about opening his eyes more when he's on stream because if he doesn't, everyone's gonna think that he's tired. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? This guy has Tourette's, bro. So watch. This is why I wanted to bring this clip up. Ethan starts talking about this guy Asmon Gold's criticisms, and he goes to defend himself, but not in typical Ethan fashion. Ethan's lighthearted about it. He knows that this is like a fucking ridiculous criticism, right? And on top of that, Asmon Gold isn't Hasan Piker, so Ethan's not gonna make a big deal out of this. So basically, while he starts defending himself about his criticisms on his ticks, right? He starts having the biggest tick out it's like a 30-second tick out. Watch this guy. He starts his hand starts going crazy. It like never stops.
It's constructive.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you have Tourette's and people think you're crazy. You should probably
just stay off the
disappear.
internet.
You should just
probably
quit
just shut
making
up.
videos. Like, bro, I've been doing this podcast for 10 years at this point, live, okay? Like, you know, what do you mean? It's fine. It's fine. I'm doing fine.
Well, he's
You know what I
basically
mean?
telling you not to tick, right? Because he said he used to not smile to cover his like teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that.
So just don't tick.
In that analogy,
No, he's got a good point.
so when
Look, and Ethan's already ticking out. You see him, he's moving his mouth and stuff like that. Look at this shit, bro. Look. You may not know it, but I'm Ethan Klein. Like, I'm fucking Ethan Klein right now, bro. Like, you don't see it? I don't have a gay tie on, but I'm Ethan Klein, bro. I'm about to convert to Judaism. You know what I mean? And become I might end up studying under Rabbi Shmuley. So, look at this guy. It's so funny. He's already ticking out. He's doing the shit with his mouth and stuff like that. We haven't even hit the full-blown tick out.
whenever I feel a tick coming, I'll just do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe Nate could cut away.
Yeah, we need a tick button. You press it and I switch off.
So
Right.
if when I do like this, maybe I should turn around or something. I don't know.
Look, watch. He's not. Right now, it started.
Yep.
Maybe I keep my hand below the desk. Maybe that could work.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not embarrassed, and I don't. I
He's
choose
still
not
going.
to hide from it or to be ashamed of it because, people shouldn't be ashamed.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the cuff. Leave the cuff alone. There's nothing wrong with it. All right? Fucking chill, bro.
And hide intrinsic parts of their personality or parts of their character. You know what I mean?
Leave the cuff
and
alone.
Also, I think that people with Tourette's, obviously, because it's...
Yo, seeing him fuck with that cuff like that nonstop, it's like watching someone in a movie like beat a guy to death and they just don't stop when they're done. And someone in the background is like, please stop. He's already dead. It's like, dude, the cuff is already fixed, man. Leave it alone.
To hide from it or to
Look at this
be ashamed of it because, people shouldn't be ashamed and hide intrinsic parts of their
That cuff is
personality
sitting there
or
like,
parts of their
somebody
character,
help
you know what I mean?
me.
And also, I think that people with Tourette's, obviously, because it's a very visual disorder or syndrome, whatever the fuck the difference is.
Bro, this guy must jerk off in like 0.5 seconds. Like it must be crazy because he probably starts, right? And then he has like a tick out and he just fucking goes into hyperdrive and finishes himself off in like 1.5 seconds. It has to be like world record breaking.
Here, I found a solution.
People with Tourette's.
Look at this, and that's the clip. Let's give it up for Ethan Klein's gigantic tick out. We needed that one before we get into the Hasan Piker, clip. So let's get into Ethan Klein versus Hasan Piker. So this whole thing, bro, these assholes argued with each other for like 5 hours, bro. This shit was like 5 fucking hours long. I'm telling you. I had to hit a Bert Kreischer, but unlike Bert Kreischer, I didn't just burp into the mic. I hit the mute button. You smell me? So, these guys argue for like 5 fucking hours straight, bro. And the whole time it was like like I said earlier, 2 cats fighting with each other. They're sitting there trying to talk over each other the whole time, trying to make idiotic points to each other. And it was very childish. Both of these guys are in like their 30s, bro. Ethan's about to be like 40 fucking years old, bro.
I'd be a pedophile for 20 million.
So I when I watched this, I couldn't even make time codes, like that many time codes about it, because I was like, dude, I can't sit here and like put everybody through this shit. You know what I mean? Like this is actually insanity right now. So let's just dive into this. Is like towards the end, but this one time code right here kind of like encapsulates this whole thing of how they were acting the entire time.
Ottoman Empire and the forces and the Ottoman genocide that they conducted, a mass extermination campaign, is because other fucking random countries where Armenians
Iraq happened after independence and as a
equally dispelled, or Turks were getting dispelled in other countries.
The pogrom
It's
happened as a
ironically the same
direct
fucking thing that
result
that's the way
of
that
the
it was
war,
taught
bro.
in the past, that it was a
By the way,
it
did
was
you
a
say
necessary voluntary migration.
By the way, did you
because
oh my god, bro, did you say Anne Frank died before she could resist? I don't know if that was a fever dream.
Wait, I'm saying that like. Would you have an issue with Anne Frank if she actually was able to
I just thought it was an insane thing to say. I'm not trying to litigate it.
Look at that. I love that. I like that move, Mr. Klein. He sits there and he basically is like fucking doing like defamation right here, like live on the spot. He's like, wait, did you say that Anne Frank died before she could resist? I just thought that was like a crazy thing to say. So Hasan's literally like clarifying the point. Ethan doesn't even listen to his clarification. He just goes, I just thought that was like insane to say, and moves right on to the next point, right? And it's funny. I didn't time code it because it's really not worth the shit. But like you could get like hints like the whole time that they were having this talk that Ethan would kind of like ask Hasan to like repeat a statement and be like, I'm happy that I have you on record saying that. Like he would legitimately say that as if he's going to use this 5-hour fucking stream and try to package it up for his lawyers and try to sue Hasan in some way. I feel like that one might be coming down the pipe. You know what I mean? So look out for it. You might get that one in your mailbox very soon.
And Tripoli...
Wait,
Anti-Jewish
rights
broke out amid post-war unrest. Synagogues were burned. Jewish institutions were shut down.
What's your point about Anne Frank? Why are you trying to deflect away from what I'm saying here?
No, I just think that statement was insane. The Six-Day
Why was
War
that an
backlash.
insane- Whoa, whoa,
In
whoa.
1967,
What?
another Israel
My
victory.
question for you was,
mobbed
would you
Jews,
hate on
Jewish
Anne Frank
communities
if
got
she wasn't a
mobbed.
pacifist?
6,000
Would
Jews
you-
were evacuated. Homes were destroyed. Synagogues were burned. In Morocco, 250,000 Jews were expelled. Anti-Jewish riots broke out in 1948. You'll notice all of these, most of these pogroms are happening in 1948 as a direct result of the war. The Arabs turned on their Jewish populace out of anti-Semitism. Period. Point blank. June 7 to 8, 1948.
Wait, what war? World War II? What the fuck is he talking? What war? See, this is how much your average person doesn't really know too much about this shit. And it's funny because a lot of Ethan's audience is like college kids that like pretend to know a lot about this shit. Same thing with Hasan Piker's audience. It's like this is Hasan's job. He sits in front of his computer for 8 hours a day, literally 8 hours a day. So it's like he's clocking in for work. Granted, a lot of us would kill to have that job and make that money, but he like if he didn't know a lot about this shit, which he kind of comes off like he doesn't, it would be insane. It'd be like if somebody worked as a like in a production job and every day they never met their quota. Eventually they would get fired, right? You think that? But it's like, what the fuck is happening here?
In northeastern Morocco, following the declaration of state of independence of the state of Israel on May 14, 1948, anti-Jewish riots erupted in the town of Jarada. These towns were significant transit points for Moroccan Jews seeking to immigrate. 47 Jews were killed, many were injured. Jewish homes and businesses were looted and destroyed. In 1950-1960, harassment and immigration. The year following 1948 riot, Moroccan Jews faced increased pressure. These factors contributed to a significant immigration of Jews from Morocco. Immigration to Israel was banned in 1959. But before that, 274,000 Moroccan Jews immigrated primarily to Israel. Yemen and Aden.
Remember when you said you weren't a
50,000.
Zionist? Remember when you said you weren't a Zionist? These are direct Zionist talking points.
This is historical facts, literally spread by your very own Avi Schleim, who, if I'll quote it back to you, said, we didn't leave because we were Zionists. We did not leave because we were Zionists. We left because we were afraid.
Appropriate, Ethan. That's the difference. If you asked Avi Schleim whether it is comparable to say the Nakba and the 900,000 Jews.
Look, I see. This is what I was saying with my earlier point about like the average person doesn't know jack shit about these guys talking about all this stuff. It doesn't make it any less serious, but I have no idea what the hell these guys are saying. It sounds like they're quoting like different things from like Star Wars or something. Like Ethan's like, oh, they left Jerobi and fled to fucking Morocco, which I understand Morocco is a real place, but it's like, and then he goes, these are direct words from your own Avi Schleim, and fucking that person sounds like they're working in like the Senate for the Republic, you know what I mean, in Star Wars, and then he's like, and then it all comes from the Nakba. And I'm like, look, I understand right now I sound like an uncultured American. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I mean? So, again, this is like that Arab video. Hold on, I'm breaking character here. This is like that Arab video. You know, the one where the two guys are yelling at each other in the taxi and they're like, you are fucking, no, you are fucking, you're fucking, bloody fucking, fuck you. You know, and this is basically what's happening here.
I'm not defending the Nakba.
From separate countries, he would laugh
Your
at you.
failure
Do you not understand?
to acknowledge the trauma of both groups is the reason why you are a radical fucking propagandist liar. Both trauma needs to be acknowledged by both groups. There's two things that need to be true for this ever to be resolved peacefully.
You're right.
Palestinian self-determination and the Israelis' right to have secure borders.
Zionism
as long as you ignore that, there will always be war. Palestinians will always die, and you will continue to make money from it. Operation Magic Carpet.
Look,
Jews were secretly airlifted.
Ethan, as soon as he makes like a fucking solid point, that was like the most serious thing I've ever heard Ethan say in his entire life. And he said it with such passion and vigor. It's almost like this guy's balls drop. And so, like, he goes and he makes this fucking point, right? And he really drives this shit home. And he's, like, sitting there waving his finger. Minimal ticks. I think I only seen, like, one tick in that whole rant. And then as soon as he does, he goes right back into the childish shit. Watch this.
Both trauma needs to be acknowledged by both groups. there's two things that need to be true for this ever to be resolved peacefully.
You're right.
Palestinian self-determination and the Israelis' right to have secure borders.
Zionism
as long as you
was an
ignore that, there will
inevitability. You're
always
right.
be war. Palestinians will always die, and you will continue to make money from it. Operation Magic Carpet. Jews were secretly airlifted to Israel due to rising hostility. 50,000.
It's so interesting
50,000 were
because
relocated. And
he starts talking over.
130,000
As a matter of fact,
after
the PLO did recognize that, and they wanted those countries to actually do a right to return for all Jews. Why did Israel stop that from happening?
I love this. So right before Ethan made that point, you know, he sounded like he was doing the dialogue from Braveheart when he said that shit, you know. But right before that, Hasan is like, dude, you know why when like you're saying everybody online is calling you a Zionist? He's like, it's because of shit like this. He's like, you go on these like rants, you start quoting off all these facts and shit like that. It's like, yeah, man, everybody was kicking out the Jews, but it's like, if I got kicked out of 130 plus of my friends' houses, you know, I'm just saying. So it's like this guy, this guy, he's like, yo, everyone's calling you a Zionist because of the way you come off. It's not like you're actually a Zionist. It's not like you're the one in the IDF going and doing all this shit, right? And then he goes, oh, I got all these facts and I'm like making this dialogue from Braveheart and I'm about to really drive this point home. And then he goes, I'm going to keep reading and reading and reading and reading. And his son's like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? You know, at one point during this interview, this one was wild. Hasan goes, Ethan, didn't you say at one point that you agree that the IDF are like terrorists? Like they should be deemed as terroristic, you know what I mean? In the way that they act and you know, go about their military operations. And Ethan's like, yeah, of course. And Hasan's like, wasn't your wife in the IDF? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, you think your wife is a terrorist? And he goes, absolutely not. Like, you know what I mean? Ethan's got like the most double standard shit on it. And you know, two things can be true. You can love your wife and think that the organization that she happened to be working for at one point are terrorists. And that's a crazy fucking, you know, now I'm conflation. Now I got a conflation. You know what I mean? Now watch this. Let's end the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment on a light note. Watch another world famous tick out from Mr. Klein. Watch his mouse on the screen. He goes and just like he did with Sam Seder, he's like forcing clips down Hasan's throat. And Hasan can't do anything about it. He's on his show. So it's like Hasan has to watch, right? But watch Ethan's mouse on the screen. His mouse is like going all over the place. Like, you see how my mouse is just like fucking going everywhere? Dude, he does this like fucking crazy. Watch this.
Over and over again, but you're too busy trying to get a gotcha here, so you can fucking farm a clip. But everyone's still gonna think you're a fucking loser, dude. I'm sorry. Just shut up and listen. If you want to actually hear my perspective,
I'm shutting up and listening to you.
Watch his mouse.
Okay, thank you.
The Iraqi Jews
over here.
Because when anti-Semitism
increases
in the West,
up there, over there.
Israel sees that as a complementary tool to its Zionist project, the Zionist ambition of bringing either all Jews to Israel or at least make
Dude,
Jews in the Western world that are outside of Israel, Jews in diaspora,
look at his mouth,
support Israel because it gives additional credence to the argument.
Shit. That Tourette's is working overdrive, baby. What the fuck? It's so funny. I've watched the show 1,000 times, you know. I helped them plan the show. That's how big of an H3 fan I am. I was there from the beginning. All right? So I've seen the show 1,000,000 times, and every now and then Zach will play this soundbite where AB is like, I don't mean to sound like I have crazy anxiety right now, but like, I don't want to sound like an asshole right now, Ethan, but like the amount of times you're moving the mouse on screen is giving me anxiety, bro. And Zach will play that soundbite every now and then, followed by a little victory chant. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I was always like, it's just a funny thing that AB said. And then I was paying attention to this, and I was watching this. I was like, holy shit, he's moving his mouse like crazy right now. This is not my mouse. This is not the movements of my mouse. Watch this.
Western world that are outside of Israel, Jews in diaspora, support Israel because it gives additional credence to the argument.
All that, the bar coming up like that, that's him.
To the argument that no Jew is ever safe if there is no Jewish state.
The whole time the clip was trying to play, it's like, how's the person that you're arguing with supposed to pay attention to that when you have that shit going on? You know what I mean? That's got to be a world record. So let's Give it up for Mr. Ethan Klein. And that'll do it for the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment. I'm about to turn on some music and take a little potty break. Your boy has got to pee. But in the meantime, gear up, because when we come back, we'll be having a couple smokes, and then we'll be getting into our next segment, which is the History Hyenas featuring Chelsea Handler. As always, I'd like to thank you for joining me on yet another episode of Lost Aux Media, our first episode back from our little unwanted break. If you want to stay up to date with all things Lost Aux Media, visit lostaux.media. That's lostaux.media. You can buy merch to support the show. You can watch full episodes there, or you can follow us on all of our social medias. All right, I'm going to take that little bathroom break. Let's listen to a couple tunes, and I'll be back in just a little bit.
Yeah, if you talking that, you better run it, baby. Yeah, all my haters, they want a piece of me, baby. But I never give them this, I just go and cop that. Anything that I rock, they be asking me, where'd you get that? Passing 5 checks, cause I'm a vibe, yes. I'm so fly, I got them so pressed, yeah. Face card killing, aesthetically pleasing. Watch the fit, I be killing hoes, really. Peep the acrylics, I'm shining, I'm beaming. Any given day, I be starting on you bitches. Wow, wow, I got that wow, wow. Anything that I want, I'ma get it now. Yeah, wow, wow, I got that wow, wow. I be feeling like a knockout, baby, pow, pow. I be winning, I be chilling. In my robe, I make it killing. Cutting deals like a boss, cause that's just how I'm living. I'm so extra, I'm too much. Oh, you ain't doing enough, yeah. I could put you on, yeah. Let's go bring it up. I be in the cut, looking fresh as fuck. I got all the eyes on me, baby. This is my world, yeah. I am that girl, yeah. Styling on a purr, yeah. Diamonds in the fur, yeah. I am really her. Face card killing, aesthetically pleasing. Watch the fit, I be killing hoes, really. Peep the acrylics, I'm shining, I'm beaming. Any given day, I be starting on you bitches. Wow, wow, I got that wow, wow. Anything that I want, I'ma get it now. Yeah, wow, wow, I got that wow, wow. I be feeling like a knockout, baby, pow, pow. Ay, you know I got that wow, yeah, I got that pow. Ay, I got that $1 million smile. Ay, smell me that Chanel, baby, I feel like the one, yeah. Sipping on that bubbly, raise my pinky like a dawn, ay. 10 toes down, check the temp, bitch, I'm cold, ay. Looking picture perfect like I'm straight out of Vogue, ay. Sported off the runway, cause that's just how it go, ay. Yeah, my body different, they respect me and it shows, ay. Face card killing, aesthetically pleasing. Watch the fit, I be killing hoes, really. Peep the acrylics, I'm shining, I'm beaming. Any given day, I be starting on you bitches. Wow, wow, I got that wow, wow. Anything that I want, I'ma get it now. Yeah, wow, wow, I got that wow, wow. I be feeling like a knockout, baby, pow, pow. Wow, wow, I got that wow, wow. Anything that I want, I'ma get it now. Yeah, wow, wow, I got that wow, wow. I be feeling like a knockout, baby, pow, pow.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Welcome back to Lost Aux Media. I am so happy to be back. I have to tell you guys, man, you can't even believe it. The feeling that I have being back at the desk and being back here with you, chatting it up with you guys on Wednesdays like usual, you know what I mean? if you're late to the party, this is our usual smoke break that we like to have with a little bit of music in between our segments, you know? So if you got them at home, like I said, smoke them up, Johnny. You only live once. Welcome back to Lost Aux Media. All right, so what do we got next? I think we were about to do some History Hyenas, right? A little bit of History Hyenas with Chelsea Handler, right? So I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. I don't really know a whole lot about Chelsea Handler. I know she started as a comedian, right? I never heard her tell a single joke. I've never watched any of her stand-up. This is a woman that has somehow flown under my radar, subconsciously, probably on purpose. You know what I mean? Because this girl ain't worth the shit. You know, the only thing I really have known her from is she had like this documentary way back when. I think it was in like the early 2000s, where she was basically like apologizing for being white. She was doing this on the behalf of all white people, you know? And these good old white folks at home are sitting there like, hey, yo, what the fuck we do, bro? Like, what are you apologizing for us for? And the funny thing about the documentary was like, inevitably, in a nutshell, it was like she ended up at some place. I don't know if it was like a convention or something with all black people, but it was like nothing but black people there, right? And she says her piece, and then everyone in the audience is like, yeah, okay, yeah, we ain't buying that shit, right? Like, you know, and they're all just like lacing into her, like, who the fuck are you to, like, we don't like that you come in here with all your white privilege and your cameras, fancy ass cameras and shit, you know what I mean, apologizing like this. Yeah, I think the documentary was called like Uganda Be Kidding Me, you know, something like that, I don't know. So that's really the extent of what I know about Chelsea Handler. What I do know, though, you know, I might not know much, but what I do know is that this is not a History Hyenas type of person, okay? This bitch is like one of the girls from The View. She might as well be like Oprah Winfrey, but white. You know what I mean? Like, she's not this type of comedian. She's like a Ellen DeGeneres, a Whoopi Goldberg, you know what I mean? Like, this Chelsea Handler, she's not fit to hang out with these Brooklyn boys, these Staten Island boys, you know what I mean? Like, she don't know shit about dollar slices in New York City. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing here, having a girl like this on? She gives these boys nothing. She gives them nothing. She might tell like one joke the entire time. She's a wet blanket through and through. And these guys are fucking taking big swings. I'm talking big swings. And she's letting them fly right by. She doesn't give them shit. So before we get into this, let's listen to their opener, because I'm not gonna lie, that shit slaps.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of History Hyenas. I'm Yannis Pappis. I'm sitting here with my co-host Chris Distefano, who just got a hair trim.
Thank you.
And
It's
Look at this. What the fuck is that?
Co-host Chris Distefano, who just got a hair trim.
Thank you.
Wow.
What the fuck? Hey. Yo, who invited Skeletor to the party, bruh? You know what I mean? Yo, Chelsea Handler, it's crazy. She kind of look, and I'm not saying this because she's like, I'm not harping on her looks here, all right? But she kind of looks like an old dog. You know when people have like an old Doberman or some shit like that, and the dog is like 17 years old? That's old as fuck for a dog. And the dog's whole face starts to get white. The dog might have been dark brown its whole life. And it starts getting older, and now it's like getting gray hairs, just like a person. So the whole face turns like almost white because it's got so much gray hair. But for some reason, every time this happens to a dog, like right around their eyes, it stays dark a little bit. So it makes their eyes look like they're very sunken into their head. Very, very sus looking for a dog. And this is kind of what Chelsea looks like right here. Like, I mean, we could put her down. She doesn't have to be in pain like this. I know this bitch's joints are aching, bro. So we don't have to do her like this. She doesn't have to live in pain. You know what I mean? Nowadays, they just get one injection, and that's it. Like, we could put her out. We don't have to put her through this.
Yeah, it's very emasculating when I have to tell my podcast partner I'm getting a trim.
Yeah, well, you went from barber now to stylist.
I got it. Well, in a way, yeah. I mean, it's just a kid I know from the neighborhood that just is. He's a stylist now, and I think he's just doing that, but he's just a gay kid that doesn't want to come out of the closet.
You got to do gay, and I'm looking at the hairstyle, and that is a gay trim, which means it was done right.
It was done right.
That was done right.
So now look at these two. Watch this. Look at the way that they're staring into the camera, bro. And don't forget, look, they're staring into the camera like this. Yannis is like, bro, we're about to knock it out of the park with this Chelsea Handler interview. I'm telling you, we're about to make this girl laugh so goddamn hard. And Chris is staring in there like, I'm fucking gay as hell, man. It's what it is, you know? Like, and mind you, they're both staring into the camera like this. And right over here, Chelsea's staring at both of them like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And they're sitting here doing a whole shtick. They're staring into each other's eyes all lovingly and shit. Look at the chemistry between these guys. They gave their cousins head. You know what I mean? These guys are gay. They're gay for each other. You know? If the only thing missing is a fucking a spaghetti, one spaghetti string in between them, and they both have each end of it, you know what I mean? And they're about to meet in the middle and kiss, you know? And Chelsea's just sitting there like, what the fuck did I get myself into? She doesn't know who these guys are. They literally, I think they say it. They just met her now.
I'm looking at the hairstyle, and that is a gay trim, which means it was done right.
It was done right.
That was done right. We have a special guest today, a very special guest. Yep. Look at that. Welcome to Chelsea Lately. Chelsea Handler, she's got a new book that's out right now.
Look, and she has to sit there and awkwardly smile. He goes, welcome to Chelsea Lately. That show hasn't been on the air for like, I don't know, fucking 10 years at least, 15 maybe. Chelsea Lately hasn't been on. Like, what the fuck? So, mind you, like I said, she doesn't give these boys much. You know, you know how these guys are. If you've even watched one fucking minute of this show before, you know it's like a car crash in personified. I've said it before. So this is like everything is going a mile a minute, and she's sitting there. Less than 5 minutes in, and she's probably looking at these guys going like, damn, if I would have just done fucking 15 seconds of research, I would have known that I would have turned this down. I wouldn't have done this. Because she's doing a podcast circuit to fucking promote her book. Oh, like, you know what I mean? Come on. Now watch. Chris, my good old boy Chris, he's about to take a real big swing. He need to take a real big swing at this Chelsea Handler. Try to get her laugh a little bit, you know? Soften her up for the interview. And watch, she gives him nothing. This bitch is a wet blanket.
It's like
I think it's sexier from somebody who's had big boobs my whole life. I think it's sexier to have smaller boobs as a woman.
I'm sorry, I just looked at them.
That's okay.
They are big and nice.
My nipples are really hard.
They are.
They've
yes.
been hard since like, oh no, they just softened.
Did you give your boobs blue chew?
Look at that. Look at Chris. Look at that one. He goes, did you give your boobs blue chew? You know? Did you give them blue chew? He's so fucking proud of this one. And and Yannis is over here like, oh, look, he goes, he said the blue chew. He put the ad into the joke, so we might get double paid. We might get double paid off of this. You know, that's how we do it in Brooklyn. We hit him with a 1-2. It's a 1-2 thing. That's how we do it. You know, you never hit him with the 1 because you also got the 2. So you always hit him with the 1-2, you know, and that's how we get double ad revenue for every episode. We make the joke. We put the product in the joke. You know, that's how we do it. So Yannis is over here like, this one's about to hit. Watch, she goes, my nipples are real hard right now. You know, my nipples. This is all Chelsea's good for. If she's not making like her and Amy Schumer went to like the same comedy college or some shit like that. Like, because if they're not making jokes about their pussies or tits, it's like they got nothing. You know what I mean? So now this is Chelsea's version of a joke.
I think it's sexier to have smaller boobs as a woman.
I'm sorry, I just looked at them.
That's okay.
They are big and nice.
My nipples are really hard.
They are.
They've
yes.
been hard since like, oh no, they just softened.
Did you give your boobs blue chew?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's an alternative to Viagra. If you use the promo code History Hyenas, you get 5% off.
To get my nipples hard?
No, well, to get an erection.
Look, I love that. He goes, well, to get an erection. He's like bombing right now in person. And it's only in front of one person, and that person happens to be more famous than him. You know, she's got a lot more money than him, a lot more influence in the comedy world than he does. Believe it or not, I know I don't know much about this bitch, but I did a little research for the show, and she's got a little more swing than this guy. You know what I mean? She's definitely got more money. I'll tell you that. She's definitely got more money. So he's starting to get nervous. And as soon as she goes, no, I don't even know what the fuck Blue Chew is. It's like he told you it's got the same ingredients as Viagra, right? And then as soon as he says that, she goes, what, to get my nipples hard? Like, what are you, fucking retarded? Like, it's like, come on, bitch. You're a comedian. He threw you a fucking lob, man. He's asking you to hit it back. You know what I mean? And you give him nothing. Look at this.
No, I don't know what that is.
It's an alternative to Viagra. If you use the promo code History Hyenas, you get 5% off.
To get my nipples hard?
No, well, to get an erection.
An erection. I love the way he stumbles like that. And then she goes, why would I take that? Like, why would I take that?
5% off.
To get my nipples hard?
No, well, to get an erection. Viagra, they're Blue Chew tablets made right here in the USA.
And
same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra.
Okay, but why would a woman take that?
It was just a joke.
It's called a joke, bitch. It's called a joke. Get with the program. You know what I mean? This is some bullshit. Like, I bet if you go to her IMDb page right now, it'll say comedian. And this is what we get? It should say member of The View. You know what I mean?
It was just a joke that bombed about your
about my dick,
about your boob dick.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or a dick in between my boobs.
Yeah.
Oh, she said a dick in between her boobs is fucking hilarious. Way better than the Viagra joke. Get on you, Chelsea. Fuck Chris. You know what I mean? Fuck him. Now watch this. This is the type of girl that we're dealing with here. Listen to this, dude. This bitch is unhinged. So. I think they go and they ask her, like, you ever been in a situation where you wanted to murder somebody before? It's like, Yannis, he goes, yo, over in Greece, over in the motherland of the Greece, where they got the Yanni and the Pappis. You know what I mean? He goes, I wanted to murder somebody. You ever been in a situation where you wanted to murder somebody? And then listen to the story that this woman tells. This is insanity.
We're all in show business. Let me ask you, have you ever wanted to murder someone, and who?
Yeah. I mean, all the time.
Yeah.
Different people. There was a guy who told me, some guy came up to me on the street. I had forgotten to put money in the meter, in the parking meter. And he came up to me and he goes, hey, you forgot to put money in the meter. And I looked at him like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
Why are you telling me what to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Why are you, like, first of all,
Yeah.
this is my first experience with a fucking meter? Or
What? You just literally told a story about how you walked away from the meter because you forgot to pay it. Now, what the fuck am I going crazy here? Look at this unhinged fucking skeleton. Skeletor over here. Skeletor losing her mind at the goddamn meter. All right? Picture that. Picture you're just like the nicest guy in LA. You know what I mean? Just trying to be the nicest guy in LA. You're like, man, it's California, positivity. You're listening to Katy Perry, California girl, right? And you're walking down the street and you see this poor woman who looks 92 years old, right? And you go, oh, this poor old lady forgot to pay her meter, right? And then you try to be the nicest guy in LA like you are. You pause California girl and you go, hey, I'm sorry, miss. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you forgot to pay your meter. And instead of that nice old lady thanking you, she turns around and starts fucking freaking the fuck out on you and go, who the fuck are you to tell me I forgot to pay my meter? I'm fucking rich. You know what I mean? Like, I would be like, whoa, bitch, what the fuck is going on here? Like, the guy was probably like stunned. You know what I mean? Like, he probably had no idea what was even happening. He probably thought he was on like a prank show or something.
Some guy came up to me on the street. I had forgotten to put money in the parking meter. And he came up to me and he goes, hey, you forgot to put money in the meter. And I looked at him like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
Why are you telling me what to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Why are you, like, first of all,
Yeah.
if this is my first experience with a fucking meter or
Sounds like it's your first experience with the meter. You just said you forgot to pay it.
a car, and I wanted to kill him.
That
But
guy.
instead, I didn't. I had a conversation with him about don't tell women to fucking feed their meter, because would you say that to another grown man?
Yes. If I saw a guy forget to pay his meter, I might be like, yo, bro, you forgot to pay your meter. You know what I mean? If I was like that privy to it, if I was aware of it. And here's the thing. Average people, like, walking down the street aren't paying attention to that shit. So the guy was probably working. He was probably like, yo, hey, bitch, I don't want to give you a ticket. If you pay it, you can get out. And she turns around and freaks the fuck out on him. Now, on top of that, on top of you getting fucking yelled at by this 97-year-old woman, then she stops and gives you a lecture about it, about how you're a fucking a goddamn what do they call a misogynist? You're a misogynist because you fucking tried to help her out. She forgot to pay her goddamn meter. Imagine that. Imagine living in a world like that. And then these two schmucks are going to agree with her. Like, no, I would never ask a guy to do something like that. What am I, fucking gay?
Him about don't tell women to fucking feed their meter, because would you say that to another grown man? Would you say to another grown man, hey, you forgot to put money in your meter?
No, I probably would never say that.
You wouldn't say that.
Look, is this crazy or what? Now, and then it's going to even get even more crazy. Like, listen to this shit. So we're going to go from I freak out on people for helping me out, for trying to help me remember to pay my meter because I'm 107 years old, right? And then we're going to go to, they start talking about the parking meter guy. Listen to the attitude she has towards that.
My son. And also, if you keep your parking tickets that you accumulate and you repurpose them and put them on your windshield, that's usually a good way to get out of getting another ticket.
Smart.
Oh, see, I forgot to mention Chelsea's also Jewish, Ethan Klein. She's is it anti-Semitic to point out that she's Jewish after she talks about a way to get out of parking tickets? Is that anti-Semitic? I mean, she literally just said, I get one parking ticket. I repurpose it. I put it on my car so that they think that I already have a ticket. They don't give me more tickets. And then I mentioned to you, I said, oh, I forgot to say, Chelsea's Jew, So that's anti-Semitic? Is the timing off? Is that what makes it anti-Semitic? Because I'm not saying anything that's not true. She is Jew. I'm not connecting the two. I just happen to let you know about that piece of information after the fact. I don't know. Someone call Ethan Klein.
That's a tip for you out there. And I also believe that you should be able to hit meter maids.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Poor meter maids.
Poor meter maids. Listen to that. Poor meter maids, she says. You just got done talking about how you gave a guy a fucking TED talk about feminism over trying to help you remember to pay your parking meter in the first place. So now if the meter guy comes up and gives you a ticket, we got to be sympathetic towards that asshole? Come on.
You should be able to hit meter maids.
Oh, yeah, poor meter maids. I mean, talk about the shaft.
They have it tough, but you should be able to hit them.
But you have to think about with your car or just with a fifth?
Both. No, both. Yeah. I mean, if they're in the way.
Oh, look at that. That's another big swing and a miss from Mr. Pappis. Look at Yannis. He goes, you should be able to hit him. And she, of course, she being the wet blanket that she is, she goes, with what? Your hand or with your car, you know? And of course, Yannis, he goes, either or, you know, whichever one's closest, you know, you should be able to hit them. At least if they're in the way. And he says this to try to get a laugh out of her. This is a joke, right? She gives him nothing. As soon as he notices that she gives him nothing, what? We're going to stop. Look, he stares right into the camera. And he goes, she gives me nothing. Oh, my God.
With your car or just with a fifth?
Both.
Watch him.
Both. Yeah. I mean, if they're in the way.
Look at him. Look at Mr. Pappis over here. He's looking at the producer like, yo, man, why did we book this fucking bitch? You know what I mean? This fucking girl's crazy as fuck. Like, I'm over here tossing zingers at this girl. She's not doing shit. And this is Chris over here. Uh-oh, Chris is... Someone please call 911. Oh, my God. Yannis is bombing. What is this? The Gaza Strip? You know?
If you became a meter maid, you have to understand how many other things went wrong.
Sure.
Before you became that. You know what I mean? That's not like
the
somebody...
first thing that went wrong is you being born in Pakistan.
Uh-oh. Look at Chelsea.
Well, that's an interesting take.
Well, now we get a smile out of her. We get a laugh. You got to throw that racism in there, you know? That's what really warms a Jew's heart like hers. It's a little bit of racist towards Middle Eastern people, you know? You know what I mean? Is that Zionism? I have no idea. Someone call Ethan Klein. Look at Yannis. He's losing his mind off of this. He goes, finally, we broke this bitch. You know? It's about time. Chris coming in with that Middle Eastern racism. Fuck Palestine.
Sure.
Before you became that. You know what I mean? That's not like
the
somebody...
first thing that went wrong is you being born in Pakistan.
And look at Chelsea. Oh, she's about to
crack. That's
an
interesting take.
She's going to crack.
Most of them
look
are
at her.
out there.
You fucking bitch.
You should be able to hit them if you're in your car and they give you a ticket. If you're not...
at that. You got to give it up for Chris. Chris finally got one out of her. Trust me, it ain't long-lived. I will tell you that right now. It ain't long-lived. Look, right after this. Look, this is a very interesting clip. So they start talking about Staten Island, right? If you remember, we talked about Chris a couple episodes back. He had an appearance on Joe Rogan. He talked about how he lived in Staten Island, how he had bought this really nice house, right, when things were going well. This guy was selling out theaters out the ace. You know what I mean? And from that, he bought this nice house in Staten Island. They renovated the kitchen. I think they redid the bathroom. You know, a little bit of marble over here, a touch of this over there, you know, and they made it real nice. And him and his girlfriend, their kids, they were all living together in that bitch. This guy gets a fucking classic old case of imposter syndrome, uproots his whole goddamn family, moves him into a 2-bedroom apartment. You know, like, that's wild shit, right? That's a serious case of imposter syndrome. You can't go living like... If you get successful... You gotta take that shit down like a fucking big pill or something, bro. Swallow it. This imposter syndrome shit is for the birds, bro. It's gonna cause you to do shit like that. This guy, when he had his solo appearance on Joe Rogan, right before the History Hyenas got back together, Joe Rogan, they were less than a minute into the episode. This guy starts talking about why he moved. He goes, man, we had this nice ass house, but we didn't live within walking distance to a fucking bagel shop, bro. He goes, I need to live within walking distance to a bagel shop for my creativity. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And Staten Island, they didn't have it. So I moved my whole family into a roach-infested 2-bedroom apartment. That's just how we do it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? That's how he got. This guy was literally, and he goes from the 2-bedroom to another one, and now he's thinking about moving back to Staten Island. The reason this clip is so goddamn interesting is because this asshole is about to lie right to Chelsea's face about why he moved from Staten Island in the first place. And then Chelsea's going to shut him down when he asks her the $1 million question.
Kids, I move a lot. I'm always like moving around too much. I want to live in Westchester, then I want to live in Long Island, then I want to live on Staten Island. And I think part of it is just because I really don't get along with any of my kids' parents that well. But now I think I'm going to go back to Staten Island because I do just want to go back to where people just fucking love America. I'm sick and tired of people talking shit about America. It's bothering me.
What the fuck? Hey, yo, did we just not hear? This is Chrissy Liar Pants over here. Chrissy can't tell a lie over here. I think not. This guy just lied right to all of our fucking faces. I watched him say the shit on Rogan. Go back and watch it. I'm telling you, less than 2 minutes, this guy starts talking about this whole thing. How his life was in fucking shambles. And now he's sitting there blaming it on his stepkid's parents. And the way he words it, it's funny. He goes, I think the reason I was moving so much is because I don't get along with like all of my kids' parents, you know? It's like, what, every single one of your kids has a different goddamn dad? Is that what you're telling us? Huh? Or are they all like test tube babies? What's happening here? You know, the way you word things is important here, Chris. So, and then look, here's the craziest part. Imagine being the fucking stepson. You're sitting at home, and the stepson is like 14 now. So he's probably listening to some of these goddamn things, at least out of curiosity, you know? So imagine him, he's sitting at home, drinking a Gatorade, you know, jerking off, listening to History Hyenas, and all of a sudden, the guy who's fucking his mom is sitting there going, yo, I really fucking can't stand my fucking stepkid's fucking dad, bro. Like, as a matter of fact, I hate him so much, I was moving the whole goddamn family because of that motherfucker. I would be like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, I'm sitting here, you're fucking my mom, and now all of a sudden you don't like my stepdad? I thought it was because we didn't live near a bagel shop. That's what you told Rogan. You told Rogan that you uplifted me and my sisters and all this over a fucking bagel shop. Now I'm finding out it's because you can't stand my dad. Imagine how that would make you feel. You know what I mean? That's some good shit. That's some good shit. Watch Chris tell this lie one more time. A lie, really, don't care who tells it, huh?
I move a lot. I'm always like moving around too much. I want to live in Westchester, then I want to live in Long Island, then I want to live on Staten Island. And I think part of it is just because I really don't get along with any of my kids' parents that well. But now I think I'm going to go back to Staten Island because I do just want to go back to where people just fucking love America. I'm sick and tired of people talking shit about America. It's bothering me.
Talking shit about America.
I just don't like it. Like fellow Americans just being like, this country sucks.
Well,
I hate it.
Yeah. Okay,
so I want to go back to Staten Island.
Island sounds like the place for you then.
100% American flags. 50. Everybody loves Staten Island, right?
Look at him. Look at that. I love that. He goes, everyone loves Staten Island. Right, Yannis? Right, Yannis? Don't you love Staten Island, Yannis? It is what it is. You know what I mean? And Yannis is sitting there like, check, please. Yeah, Yannis is like, I don't know, bro. I don't really like Staten Island like that. I really think Staten Island's kind of fucking gay, bro. Like, I don't really know. Look at Chris. Chris is fucking dying. He's asking Yannis for a life vest right now. I don't think Yannis is gonna give it to him.
100% American flags. 50. Everybody loves Staten Island, right?
Yeah.
You don't like Staten Island?
I do like I like Staten Island, but it's not for me.
Right.
I don't know that I've ever been to Staten Island.
Do you want to come to Staten Island?
Look at this. Look at this. And Yannis, look at him. Yannis knows where this is going. See, the one thing these guys love is when they watch each other bomb. Because you think about the way that comedians, the way that they do their shit, you know, for people who don't. If you watch this show, you probably have a slight understanding at least of it. But a comedian, they hone the set. They chisel it down like it's a fucking slab of marble, right? And they to get it to that point of it being a recorded hour-long special, they have to do it over and over and over again. They change a little bit of here, you know, a little bit of pastrami over there, a little bit of Swiss over here, and they're changing stuff around until they get that perfect fucking Reuben sandwich type of shit. You know what I mean? I'm hungry if you can't tell. So when they're working with each other constantly, they're not laughing at each other's shit. They're listening to each other say that sometimes 2-3 times a night, you know? What they really get a kick out of is when their opener or when somebody they know is on stage and they're bombing their asses off. They're all in the back of the green room. They're laughing. They're fucking... Imagine that. Imagine if you worked at a mechanic shop and every single time you worked on somebody's car, it blew up. And everybody's laughing at you. They go, holy shit, this guy sucks at being a mechanic. Ain't that some shit? You know, imagine if that was your job. These guys love it. So Chris, he goes, you want to come to Staten Island? It is what it is, you know? And Yannis is over here like, oh boy, I know where this is going, you know? He goes, if I don't like Staten Island, this skeleton-looking bitch really ain't gonna like Staten Island. Listen to her answer. Chris is...
No.
I like to go...
Look, I hit the button premature. Chris goes and asks her this. Is she flat out, no, I don't want to go to Staten Island. Absolutely not. With you? Nope. Maybe David Portnoy, but not you.
Staten Island?
I do like I like Staten Island, but it's not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever been to Staten
Do
Island.
you want to come to Staten Island?
No.
Imagine bringing this bitch to Staten Island. You'd be fucking... Everyone would look at you like you were crazy. They would look at you like you were like reverse Anna Nicole Smith. You know? I don't know how young you are listening at home, but Anna Nicole Smith, when she was popping before she died, you know, she was dating like a 93-year-old guy. And I don't even think I'm exaggerating. I might even be getting the age wrong because the guy might have been actually older than 93. And she was dating this dude, and she was like in her 20s, man. And everybody knew, she goes, that guy's going to fucking die, and then she's going to inherit all that money. And that's exactly what that asshole did. He wrote everyone else off the will and just threw everything at Anna Nicole Smith. She got a big chunk of change, if I remember correctly. We go, allegedly, you know, Ethan Klein. So that's if I went to Staten Island with Chelsea Handler, everybody would be like, oh man, he's trying to get the money out of this old bitch's will because she's got like a good 3 months left in her. Imagine that. And then you ask this bitch out and she goes, no, absolutely not. Well, I want to hang out with your 13-year-old ass. Like Chris has literally got like the mind of a 13-year-old.
I like to go. I like to go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and that just cancels me out on Staten Island.
Make no mistake, deep down inside, you are a fucking PR guy.
I am.
That's what
Look at that, and that's Chris's coping. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna act fucking crazy now because this girl just made me look like an asshole on my own podcast. It is what it is. You know, I love that. So let's check this out. I think Chris, this is a good time code right here. I think you're gonna like this one. I think Chris fucked Kevin Spacey, bro. Hear me out here. Chris is about to tell this story about how he did a previous gig with Kevin Spacey and how Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted him. Yeah, it was a brutal sexual assault. He describes in this fucking story, right? And Chris wants to play it off like nothing happened. Chris is a D1G. A day one gay, okay? This is a day one gay. It is what it is. So, you know, I don't believe Chris. And we literally just watched him lie about why he likes to move so much, blaming it on his fucking stepson's kid or dad. You know, it's like, this guy will do anything. He'll say anything. You know what I mean? So I hear this Kevin Spacey story. It gets my wheels a-turning a little bit, you know? I start thinking to myself, I go, I don't know. Maybe Chrissy was a little bit of Chrissy cocksucker that day, you know? I think Chrissy might have fucked the spaceman. Listen to this story he tells about this shit.
So.
Shout out to Paul.
It's just what happens when you get a part in a Kevin Spacey movie. You're just
Poor Kevin Spacey. I mean, whoa! Talk about sexual, like what unwelcome sexual advances.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You could see that coming from a mile away when you look at his face.
Yeah.
Look, right before this, look, I didn't have the clip view. My bad. Look, right before this clip, she was telling a story about how she was like, well, men should be sexually assaulted. They should feel what it's like to get sexually assaulted. What? Wait, what? This girl's like feminist 101. She yelled at the dude for trying to help her with the parking meter, right? And then she goes, well, men should get fucked against their will. They should. They should know what it feels like. At least once.
Spacey. I mean, whoa. Talk about sexual, like, what unwelcome sexual advances.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You could see that coming from a mile away when you look at his face.
Yeah.
You could see it.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's kind of just in his aura, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah. And I mean, grown men saying they were scared of being on set with him.
Yeah.
I did a gig once with him just before like everything, came out about him, whatever. I did a gig and it was like some like private show in DC. Cal Ripken Jr., from the Baltimore Orioles. It was like his foundation, whatever. Kevin Spacey was like the host, and I did comedy to like open it all up. And like right before I went out, because it was like, a baseball themed event, he like slapped my ass. And I was like, that's interesting. I never thought he was like, oh, it's a baseball thing. I was like, oh yeah, I guess. I didn't think of it. And then like a month later, all this shit came out. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fucking Mr. Spacey. But again.
Oh, okay. Fucking Mr. Spacey, man. Yeah, this guy's he's a legend, bro. He's Mr. Spacey. Look at this guy, dude. So you trying to tell me Kevin Spacey goes and he fucking grabs your ass, right? He does, and he grabs you like as if you were a bowling ball. He's got a finger in each hole. You know what I mean? So Chris does this comedy event with Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey wears him like a glove. You know what I mean? Hold up. So Kevin Spacey is wearing Chris Distefano like a glove, right? after Chris just got done doing comedy at this event with him. And with two of his fingers deep inside Chris just looks at him and goes, that's interesting, Like, I think Chris might have fucked Kevin Spacey, bro. Ain't no way that man didn't. Listen to the story again. You think I'm making this up?
The show in DC.
Grown men saying they were scared of being on set with him.
Yeah. I did a gig once with him just before like everything, came out about him, whatever. I did a gig and it was like some like private show in DC. Cal Ripken Jr., from the Baltimore Orioles. It was like his foundation, whatever. Kevin Spacey was like the host, and I did comedy to like open it all up. And like right before I went out, because it was like, a baseball themed event, he like slapped my ass. And I was like, that's interesting.
That's interesting. That's interesting, bro. Kevin Spacey is fucking over there just, Kevin Spacey's fucking giving him the old ones and twos, and Yannis is over there. That's how we do it. We give him the one, and then we give him the two, So Kevin gave him the 1 and 2. He's got him in there like a bowling ball, like this, and Chris just goes, oh, that's interesting. I have a fist up my ass. That's interesting, no big deal. I love that, Chris. I'm telling you, Chris. We know you're lying.
Was like the host, and I did comedy to like open it all up. And like right before I went out, because it was like, a baseball themed event, he like slapped my ass. And I was like, that's interesting. I never thought he was like, oh, it's a baseball thing. I was like, oh yeah, I guess. I didn't think of it. And then like a month later, all this shit came out. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fucking Mr. Spacey. But again, I didn't really fucking care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really care. For me, it's like another Tuesday I'm getting fingered by Kevin Spacey. It is what it is, History Hyenas. That's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. Let's give it up for the History Hyenas. So, as you can see, I already started a little early, but let's have ourselves a little bit of a smoke break, listen to a couple tunes, you know what I mean? As always, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this episode of Lost Aux Media. Let's have a smoke and listen to a couple tunes. But before we do that, just know that you can always visit lostaux.media to stay up to date with all things Lost Aux Media. And you can buy merch to support the show, or you can follow us on all our socials. Have yourself a couple puffs before we get into our next segment. This next one, Drewski, is going to be wearing a couple bracelets. By bracelets, I do mean handcuffs. Have a couple puffs and listen to a couple tunes. We'll be right back on Lost Aux Media. I hope that y'all are happy to be back, man. I'm telling you, it was a struggle going through that break, man. I was moving spaces. Like, you know, before, I was living in a smaller place than I'm living now. And I had done, I'm not even kidding, this podcast was done out of my bedroom. All the space that I had that was for the set, my bed was like 2 feet across from like where the camera was that used to film me. Now I moved into a bigger place. I have my own dedicated room for it. We got all the stuff nice and set up real nice. We got a bigger TV for the background. You like that shit? I know I do. So, you know, it was a struggle having to take that break, but it was necessary. Now we have the resources and the space to go bigger, faster, stronger, longer. We can go for 10 hours if we wanted to, you know? No restraints on recording, you know what I mean? This is the American way. Buy high, sell low. This is the only way. Look, before we get into that nice time code of Drewski wearing them handcuffs, you know what I'm saying? Because this is going to be a funny one. This shit's fucking crazy. I want to do a little more Francis Borges. Just a smidge, you know, because that one song I showed you.
It's a sad day for...
that wasn't the only banger that Francis had under his belt, you know? As I was going through my Francis Borges videos, I came across yet another train that's going out of commish. And Francis, how else are you going to commemorate the train? But with another song. Take it away, Francis.
It's a sad day for train enthusiasts, as Southern Class 455s are being withdrawn from service. We've come to say our goodbyes, and I've written a song for them. 455 Clapham Junction, platform 14. A beautiful sight. Paint job yellow, white and light green. 455 from London Bridge to Caterham via Peckham Rye. Soon your tracks will lead upwards to the station in the sky. Once you're gone, you'll be remembered as a unit with plenty of charm. With your traction motors groaning, I feel a sense of calm. 455, I can't keep you alive. But the memory of you in my mind will survive.
Why didn't he do the thing at the end? I wish he would have done the thing at the end, where he's like, yo, 455, it's been real, mate. I'll see you up in that train track in the sky. You go and rip those engines one more time. Booyakasha. Like he did in the last one. You know? I like that one, but not as much as the first one. That one is a little more like...
Oh, it's constructed.
It sounded like almost like a fucking...
the Ottoman Empire.
Like, oh, god damn. How many tabs do I got open? Oh, no. We've been listening to everything. Yeah, I didn't like that one as much as the first one. That one kind of sounded like the backtracking to like a video game, and then he just was like singing over it. The first one actually had slaps, you know what I'm saying? That one had some beat, some rhythm. He had his nice little thing going. We had red, yellow, blue, you know what I mean? Pointing at the train. He was like rapping in the last one. That one's not as good as the other one. But I wanted to dive into this segment right here. Let me take one more puff, and then we'll get right into it. So, this we have one Drewski extraordinaire. If you guys aren't friends with Drewski like I am, get with it. You're obviously not fucking cool, but if you aren't familiar with him either, then you really need to get with the program and get on Google because you're clearly fucking gay. Okay? So, Drewski, extraordinaire, comedian, sketch writer, host of Could Have Been, Would Have Been Love, you know what I mean, is getting arrested. Why he's getting arrested is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. This guy is rich and famous. He's riding around with a suspended license and no insurance. Like, what are you, dumb?
On October 21st, 2024, Atlanta police spotted a 2023 Hummer EV running a stop sign. After running the tag, they discovered the driver had a suspended license, and the vehicle was registered to comedian and influencer Drew Disboards, known professionally as Drewski.
Drew Disboards. Drew Disboards, right? That's a crazy fucking name. Drew Disboards. What is Disboards? What's that last name? Disboards. Somebody look that up. You look that up and I'll give you a free shout out on the show. You can be, I'll put your name at the ending credits. You'll be the only one. You look up what Disboards, what race is that so we can make fun of it. This man just blew past the stop sign.
It is not an excuse for you to run these stop signs, sir.
Look at this dumb asshole. This cop. Woo! There you go. Hit him. Book him,
After
Sammo.
about 2 minutes, the officer made it clear he was pulling the vehicle over.
Oh, shut the
Once he
fuck up.
activated his lights and sirens, Drewski's vehicle complied and pulled over shortly after.
I just feel like I've pulled this vehicle over before.
I feel like I pulled this vehicle over before.
Yeah, 72
Look.
6090 IV.
Wait until you see the
On
car.
a
Like, wait
white
until you see
color.
the car from his body cam. And
Hummer
he's going,
EV.
I think I pulled this
Pickup
vehicle
truck.
over before. I think I may have seen this vehicle before. Watch this shit. This is insanity. This is, when you see the car, you're going to be like, we should never give famous people money. Look at this. What is this? This is an EV. This is a Hummer electric vehicle. He has the whole thing camouflaged the fuck out. Like, the shit is sweet. You know what I mean? Like, this is insane. And it's not even like the camouflage like you would think, like the patchy camouflage that people are used to seeing. This is like the real shit. You know what I mean? This is like what a real man who deer hunts would have, the camouflage, where it actually looks like you're looking into the woods. Like, it looks like you're looking at trees and leaves. Like, if this thing was parked in the middle of some woods that were this color, you ain't seeing it, you know? But the irony in this is that it's a EV Hummer. You can't go deep into the woods. You can't go balls deep into the woods like that with an EV. The thing will lose charge. You'll be stuck out there. You can't bring extra cans of gasoline like you can with the gas guzzler the American way. You know that? So it's ironic because this guy is never going to be on like a hunting trip worth of shit. Not that Drewski fucking hunts, you know, the host of Could Have Been, Would Have Been Love, you know, that dude ain't hunting nothing. He might go to the club so he could hunt some puss, you know, but he's not hunting a deer, not anytime soon.
So I'm Officer Lynn with the Atlanta Police Department. I pulled you over because you rode through that stop sign right there at Ivy and North Stratford. Okay, now when I run the registration, it comes back suspended and no insurance. Insurance.
See, now in a normal situation, the cop wouldn't even have said, oh, when I ran it, it came back suspended. The cop would have went to the car. As soon as he would have saw the complexion of this man's skin, he would have pulled his gun out and been like, freeze, motherfucker. License is suspended. I got reasonable suspicion. Get out the fucking car. You know, that's normally how they handle these situations. I feel like this cop knows this guy. You know what I mean? When I first watched it, I was like, I think he knows who Drewski is. The way he's like sitting there like, you know, I pulled you over and it says it's suspended. Yeah, I know. What are we going to do about that? Like, no. Normally, the cop would be beating this motherfucker with a nightstick by now. And instead, he's acting like a bitch, you know? Now, listen to this. This guy, he goes through this whole thing, right? We're going to skip ahead a little bit because we don't got time for all this bullshit. he's going through this whole thing with him, right? With the officer who we respect. And he's like, oh man, I can't go to jail right now, bro. I got this thing, bro. And like, if I go to jail, it's just gonna fuck up the whole thing. We're about to get on a flight, bro. This cop calls his fucking sergeant to try to help Drewski out, to let him go free. The suspended license, he also has a failure to appear for it. So it's obvious he doesn't respect court dates. This guy's too busy doing could have been, should have been, would have been love. You know, so it's like he doesn't got time for this shit. Which is why this shit's suspended in the first place. So he calls his sergeant not once, not twice, 3 different times to try to help Drewski out. What the fuck? What happened, man? They didn't do George Floyd like this. They didn't call George Floyd's fucking references to go like, hey, man, like, should we help this guy out? You know, maybe we should let him go and he'll come back for the next one. No. They took force, and we all know how that ended up. Now look at Drewski. This guy about to call his goddamn sergeant.
So I pull up.
Listen, he goes, hey, Sarge, sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up.
Hey, Sarge, I'm sorry, didn't mean to wake you up. So I pulled over Drewski, the comedian. Yeah, I mean, too, he's got a, so basically he ran a stop sign in front of me.
Right there, Sarge goes, okay, arrest him.
Over here at OIV in North Stratford. When I run the registration, it comes back suspended.
Okay, he ran a stop sign, the registration comes back suspended, arrest him.
No valid insurance, but I was able to verify.
No valid insurance, he ran a stop sign and the registration is suspended, arrest him.
The insurance for the vehicle, so he's good on that. But he's got a suspended driver's license. So I'm giving him a copy. I'm taking his driver's license from him. And I'm also going to...
He got a suspended license.
Yes, sir.
And now he going to have to go.
Look, right there, the Sarge is like, nah, bro, he going to have to go. The Sarge sounds like a brother on the phone. He don't want to cut Drewski no slack. But this asshole wants to cut Drewski all the slack in the world. Put handcuffs on this motherfucker and get it over with, bro. Like, this ain't it.
You by yourself?
Yeah. And nobody out here with me. He got a dude in the car, too.
Have another unit come out there. He's going to have to, because, I mean, we can't just stand courtesy to him and whatnot. You know, that's
yeah. So the guy's like, hey, man, if this guy's got people in the car, you're by yourself. Call another unit, slap some handcuffs on him, bring his ass in. Do your goddamn job. Now, watch. We go forward a little bit. This asshole goes and talks to Drewski. Now he's talking to Drewski.
It's the same tag that's on the reader right now, right? Yeah, SCB 6737.
Look at this. He goes back to read him his license plate. What cop you know would do that for you?
Here's the thing, right? You have an FTA, right, for suspended driver's license. I don't know if you missed a court date or whatnot, but I am going to have to take you in tonight. Okay. I am going to have to take you in for that suspended driver's license. If your man here, if you want, you can release. I verify the insurance for the vehicle.
nothing that we can show you though, because we have a flight right now. Like literally like a big night convention. It's like if I'm going to jail right now, that's kind of like that fucks up the whole thing that we're doing. There's nothing that we can show you at all.
What, are you trying to bribe him? He's like, there's nothing we can show you at all. We can't show you like a big old sack of cash, you know. We can't work this thing out, man.
That's
we're like he's back in town on Wednesday.
And then
let me call my sergeant.
Okay.
Let me.
We want to do the right thing here.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Let me call my sergeant. He says, "This is insane. This guy, he has his manager. Drewski has his manager on the phone. He goes." Yo, bro, we're going to be back in town on Wednesday, bro. Like, just, you know, we want to do the right thing. Right now, it's Friday, and we're going to be back in town on Wednesday. So we'll see you in like almost a week, bro. Like we'll be back. You know, I know he has a failure to appear. We can't trust him that he'll show up, you know, to court. But we'll be back next Wednesday, you know? Don't even worry about it. Right now we got an event that we got to go to, bro. We're leaving town. We're literally going to get on a plane and go somewhere else. So you can fuck off until Wednesday. And this cop is literally like, oh yeah, let me call my Sarge, bro. Let me call my Sarge back. This is the one thing that we skipped on the last phone call that he tried to do, right? This, I don't know where they are. I would imagine they're on the East Coast. The sergeant is in California. So he's like 3 hours behind. It's 10:33 right now. This asshole keeps calling his sergeant back at fucking 7:30 in the morning to try to get Drewski off the goddamn hook. It's shit like this is why people don't like rich and famous people, especially when they're influencers and people that came from social media. They can't stand it. Because, I mean, if you think about it, when you boil it down, you're essentially making like all of this money to like do nothing. Like, yeah, Drewski, he's funny, I guess, right? And he comes up with the flavor of love, like knockoff, where he goes, could have been, should have been, would have been love, you know? He comes up with that, yeah. Okay, it's kind of funny, but there's a lot of people behind that shit now. This guy started doing like TikTok skits when TikTok wasn't a thing. And I hate to break it to people, but when you're there from the beginning and you get a little momentum, as long as you can keep it, I mean, you can end up like Drewski. Right now in social media, it's hard to make it, you know, because it's oversaturated. When Drewski was hitting it, there was nobody else on the scene. It was like, okay, now he's big. This asshole. And this is what I'm talking about. People, they see rich people like this and they see cops bending over backwards for them. It makes them hate them, you know? And I don't blame you if you hate Drewski. I mean, it's sad to see what this piece of shit has become.
Give me 1 second, all right?
Look at him. Hey, Sarge.
Hey, Sarge. So apparently he's going to a big event. He's flying out today.
I can't even listen to this guy try to explain it. It's like, bro, arrest him. What are you talking about? Arrest him. Now watch, look. It finally gets to the point to where the sergeant's like, bro, I don't give a fuck how many events. Okay, he has a Nike event. I don't care. Arrest this man. We're not cutting this guy no slack. I'm in California, bitch. Like, so the guy finally does his job and ends up arresting Drewski. And wait until you see this. The guy has to, like, secure Drewski and put him in the back of the car, right? And Drewski doesn't fit. I don't know if you've ever seen the back of a cop car. Them bitches are tight. You know what I mean? If you're not a crackhead, you're not going to sit comfortably in that goddamn back seat, especially when you got your hand cuffed behind your back. Drewski not only has his hands cuffed behind his back, but this big-ass motherfucker needed 2 sets of handcuffs to be handcuffed, bro. He's sitting there like a fucking sardine right now in the back seat of this goddamn cop car. And the cop just like kind of sprawls him back there because he needs to put him back there real fast so that he can tell Drewski's friends that they're good to drive Drewski's car home. So now we're about to hit this clip. This is where the cop opens up that sardine can and you see Drewski in there all flopped in there, fucking all crazy and shit. Look at this man. It's a sad sight. Wait till you see it. Let that poor man out of there, officer.
Hey, Mr.
Look at Drewski. Look at Drewski, bro. Oh, no. What the fuck? Oh, no, Drewski. This is like horror footage, like found footage. You know what I mean? This is Drewski. This is the last time you ever saw Drewski. He's in the fucking basement. This is the last known footage of comedian and influencer Drewski. Where is he now? His whereabouts are unknown. You know, he's got him in the back seat sprawled up like that, man. Poor Drewski, man. It's sad to see what this piece of shit has become.
Drew, hop out here so I can fix that cuff for you. You said the right one is a little tough?
Look at that. 2 sets of cuffs. Now watch, wait until you listen closely to the officer. He starts, because this guy, look at him. That's white. This is a white man arresting a black man, and we have to treat this as a delicate situation here. You cannot make the wrong move. Like I brought up George Floyd before, you know, America, we're still traumatized by that. So you can't, a white cop arresting a black man, a famous black man nonetheless, no witnesses around. No witnesses around. We got to treat this delicate. So what do you do as a white cop in this kind of situation? You want to try to blend in, right? You want to try to be one with your perp, you know what I mean, that you're arresting, to make him feel as comfortable as possible. So what do? You start speaking in Ebonics. You start kind of, you know, adapting the lingo of Drewski. You start talking like a black man. As a white man, this is a very difficult thing to do. So now listen closely to how the cop talks.
Not anybody in the Tesla truck over here. What the fuck is going on? You know
It's none of their business.
Listen to him. Did you hear that, bro? Did you hear that? So Drewski, you can hear it's very subtle, but he's like, oh, so there's some people over there in the Tesla truck, and they're like just kind of eyeing us all up, trying to figure out what's going on and blah, blah, blah. And the cop's like, it's none of they business. It's none of they business. They don't got to worry about it. They ain't got to worry about it, son. You know, this guy, what is he doing? What is this asshole doing? This guy like wants to be part of Drewski's crew.
Not anybody in the Tesla truck over here. What the fuck is going on? You know
It's none of their business.
And he kind of like, when he says they, he like emphasizes it. He goes, it's none of they business. You know, he's not even smooth with it when he says it, bro. Like, you can't do this shit. This is racism. This is racism.
Hop in there. I'm trying to sit up because I got to put a seatbelt on you.
Fuck, I don't know.
Listen, so now this asshole sergeant's calling him, right? To check in on the situation. He's arresting a man with multiple people in his car by himself. Anything could happen. You know, they could jump this white asshole. And they'd be justified in doing so because he's white. So, you know, nobody would care. They should have. They'd probably get away with it. But, so the sergeant's calling him back to check up on him. This asshole is going to ask the sergeant if he could switch Drewski's handcuffs to the front. This is against protocol, okay?
Hey, Sarge.
Sit up?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. He cool.
He does it again. You remember how he said it's none of they business. It's none of they business. And you remember earlier I said the sergeant kind of sounded like a brother. Kind of sounded like a brother to me. So he goes, it's none of they business. Don't worry about those people eyeing us down in the Tesla. You know, they ain't shit. So then when the Sarge calls, the Sarge's like, is everything all right? Are you good? And he goes, nah, yeah, he cool. He cool, Sarge.
I don't know.
Hey, Sarge.
Sit up?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. He cool.
Yeah, he cool. He cool, Sarge. Don't worry. We're all black brothers around here, Sarge. You know what I mean? You ain't got nothing to worry about. We cool as fuck, dog. We cool as a cup of cucumbers, Sarge. Don't worry about it. He cool. This guy wants to be part of the crew. You're going to see this cop on the next Could Have Been, Should Have Been, Would Have Been Love.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. He cool.
Yeah, he cool.
My arms on the left.
This motherfucker is looking like a sardine
Sarge,
back there.
Is it cool if I put his arms in front of him? Because he is a pretty big guy.
Can I put his arms in front of him? Because he's a big motherfucker, Sarge. You know what I'm saying? That's how he wants to say it like that. He wants to be like, yo, this N-word cool as hell, but he big as motherfucker, Sarge. You know, can I put his handcuffs in the front like, you know what I mean? You feel me, Sarge? You feel me, Sarge?
Having a hard time getting in and out of this car.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
Yeah.
Shut the fucking door. Norm, you know why they're having such a hard time he has to call the sergeant back so much? Is because normally in these types of situations, a white cop like this with a big black dude like that, listen, let's just call a spade a spade. Normally, the guy would have shot him by now. You know, he would have been like, license suspended, registration's all out of whack. You got 3 dudes in the car. I mean, it would have been a wrap by this point. So they normally don't get to this point of getting the guy into the back seat. Normally they're putting this motherfucker in the back of an ambulance because they put a couple holes in him, turn him into Swiss cheese. You know what I mean? So this is a alien-like situation. This is a foreign situation to them right now. They're not used to this.
Yeah, we're still having a pretty hard time because
it's good right here.
Big.
Look,
good right there. Okay.
Now
right.
Drewski,
Right, never mind.
Drewski finally goes, bro. The longer I'm in this shit, bro, I'm not gonna be able to get. I gotta hurry up and get bailed out. They're obviously gonna let me go. And yeah, I need. So now Drewski's even like, nah, bro, we good, bro. Just fucking put the seatbelt on me. Let's just get this shit going. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's give it up for good old Drewski, baby. The soundboard just crashed. Why you do that to me? Give me my applause, bitch. All right. Fuck the applause, bro. It's always so, like, that's sad. You want to talk about Drewski getting arrested as if that's sad? Yeah. Try hitting the applause button on your podcast and it doesn't go through and you're applauding by yourself. That's fucking sad. Okay? So, let's move on to the next segment. This next segment we're going to be moving on to is some good old Kill Tony.
Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound.
No, Tony, you don't, dude. You really, really don't. So, before we get into this, I'm not going to lie. I've been drinking a lot of coffee this morning. I got to pee again. So we're going to have another quick bathroom break. But of course, as always, we're going to start some music. I'll be right back.
24/7, 'cause when we're together it feels like we're in heaven. If it will get dark, you'll be my million stars. I know I can lean on you. Oh, you catch me like a leaf falling from a tree. If I'll be a shooting star, you make a wish. No, I don't fake this kind of feeling, never felt so real. My heart is on the table 'cause you're my everything. I do, I wanna marry you. 'Cause when you're around, I know it's true. The way you make me feel is so good, baby. So good, so good. Every single day we spend apart, I wanna be with you. Baby, take my hand, hold it tight just like you do. Feels so good, so good. When I wake up in the morning and I see your face, I'm becoming blind by your dazzling grace. What a beautiful feeling to be close to you. There's nothing else I wanna do. Ooh, and from the fields of flowers you chose to pick me. You're spreading sugar on my misery. And I don't fake this kind of feeling, never felt so real. My heart is on the table 'cause you're my everything. I do, I wanna marry you. 'Cause when you're around, I know it's true. The way you make me feel is so good, baby. So good, so good. Every single day we spend apart, I wanna be with you. Baby, take my hand, hold it tight just like you do. Feels so good, so good.
Welcome back to Lost Aux Media. Sorry for the bathroom. I've been drinking coffee all morning, and it's running right through me. It's running right through me. So, yeah, as always, with the music comes the smoke. So smoke them if you got them, Johnny. You only live once, right? Right? We're about to have a couple of these puffs, finish this tune, you know, maybe listen to another one while we talk about some Kill Tony. Yes, good old Kill Tony. You know we missed. I hope you've missed the Kill Tony segment. I know I have. I know I have, talking about my good friend Kill Tony. Ooh, I wanna marry you. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we've missed in regards to Kill Tony, man. I wish I could cover a lot of it, man. They ended up signing a deal with Netflix. Apparently, it's the biggest development deal that's been signed in the comedy world, second to Joe Rogan's deal with Spotify, right? That's a big deal. You know, that's a very, very big deal. It's a lot of money. I think these assholes did like 3 episodes or something like that on Netflix, and I'm telling you, I mean, it was just as shitty as it always is. It just had Netflix name on it. We can't cover it because if we end up covering it, Netflix is going to copyright this shit and take the visibility off the episode. How shitty would that be if the first episode back, it gets copyright dinged and taken down? We cannot have that over here. No, 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 no. Okay, we need the first episode back to be a nice one, a fun one, a smooth one, a slick one. You know what I mean? We got good stuff, slick stuff, real nice stuff. Your mom's house. Yeah. So what we're going to cover on this one is one of Kill Tony's arena shows. He ended up doing this one with the Kid Rock. You know what I mean? Him and Mark Norman on this shit. And there are some wild, wild time codes, I'm telling you right now. So, as always, I will not hold you too much longer. Let's just get right into it, man. Let's turn down this music. I almost don't want to turn down the music. That's a pretty good song. I like that little... Ba 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 ba. You know what I mean? That's pretty good shit. So, as always, we like to start our Kill Tony with us checking out Tony's outfit. You know what I mean? Isn't it nice? Everybody, great minds think alike, baby. We're all doing the suit jackets now. You know, and if you're not in, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dude. They say 1% of the men crush 80% of the bitches' pussies. You know what I mean? And if you got a suit jacket, trust me, you're in the 1%. You are in the 1%, my friend. So, as obviously Tony is a 1%er, but as normal Tony fashion, he's got a totally normal looking suit jacket on, but he's wearing like a scuba suit underneath it. It's like, why every single time this guy, he wears like a vest and then he wears like fucking like dry fit Under Armour, like fucking skin tight spandex underneath it. It's like, why do you always do this to yourself, man? Just put on a button up underneath it like me and Ethan Klein. We're obviously doing it right. You know, look, you pay attention to this guy. This is my favorite part about my suit. Fuck Ethan Klein. You look real close. I got a little flamingo here, a little blue flamingo. It's my little lapel charm, you know. I got, you know, we do it nice. We do it nice over here at Lost Aux Media. So, Tony's got the gayest outfit ever. Let's listen to his intro of Kid Rock.
You might as well stay up, because I'm warning you right fucking now, this roof is about to explode.
It's about to explode.
As I bring to the stage a first-time guest in the history of the show. A man who I've wanted on this show since the very first episode. Who better in Music City, USA, than perhaps...
Oh, shut the fuck up. He always does this. It's like, introduce the guy already.
Zone, Kid Rock!
Kid Rock. Look at that. Kid Rock. More like crack rock, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Did you get it? Kid Rock. More like crack rock, right? Because he's skinny? Because he looks like fucking shit? This guy has been drinking since drinking's been drinking. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. It's always Tony does a 45-minute long intro for this. Come on, man. We don't even give a shit about the bone to the bone to bang to bang, diggy to the biggie to the boogie, the bone chunk the boogie.
About to fucking go down! Woo! Oh, my God.
Tony's about to come in his pants, bro. Let's give it up for Kid Rock. He likes them young. You know, Kid Rock. He likes them young. Look, so this shit, this is so funny. So you got the Kill Tony regulars, right? Which is usually how they like to start the show. They do one regular and then they do a bucket pool. That's usually how they get things kicked off in this. This is the format, okay? If you're not with it, you Google it, like I tell everyone. But every now and then, they don't start the show with the regular. They'll start the show with what's called a golden ticket winner. So every now and then, a bucket pool will do, quote unquote, so well that Tony will grant this guy a golden ticket. Well, this guy's like Wonka now. He's just as gay, but he'll grant this person a golden ticket. And what that will do is like Tony will be like, okay, we're going to use your golden ticket. I'm going to have you come up on the arena show, you know, where normally you won't get to do the arena show because you're not a regular. You're still a bitch. But I can bring you up whenever I feel like it, like when people can't make it or like they have another thing going on, then we'll put you up. So he's about to bring out this golden ticket winner. He introduces this guy as the greatest golden ticket winner of all time. He does this every single time. Imagine how the other golden ticket winners feel, you know, because he rotates these motherfuckers out. So it's like you get told last week that you're the greatest golden ticket winner of all time. Then in the arena, he goes and he does this. I'd be like, what are you, Chris Distefano? You fucking hate my dad now? So it's like, all right, I'm going to let the clip speak for itself. When you see who ends up coming out, you're going to get a kick out of this one, I'm telling you.
I have one of our great golden ticket winners ready to get us started with a brand new minute. And by great golden ticket winner, I mean perhaps the greatest golden ticket winner in the history of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, on an absolute hot streak to get us started tonight, this is the unstoppable force known as Martin Phillips.
Oh, Martin Phillips! Hit me! DJ, hit me! Yo, this is actually insane. Look, it's crazy. This guy, he legitimately looks like all his limbs have a puppet string attached to him. He looks like, if you're listening at home, Martin Phillips is that guy that looks like he got ran over by an 18-wheeler. And he talks with that really shaky voice. He almost sounds like RFK. Now, nothing wrong with having like a physical or even a mental ailment. That's not a big deal. But these guys, you know, you enter the comedy world, you got to expect to get some shit thrown at you. This is how it works. Everybody's busting balls. There's no exception here at Lost Aux Media. I'm breaking balls. This guy looks like fucking Woody from Toy Story with fucking puppet string attached to him. He literally looks like somebody is controlling his body and making him walk on the stage. It's fucking crazy. Look at them legs. Them legs is stiff, boy. Them legs is stiff. Yeah, son. Get him, Martin Phillips. Get him. Look at that. Look at my man. Let's get a little clearer frame on him. Yes, Mr. Phillips looking good. Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips, dude. Looking like Woody. Looking like Woody from the what would be like a Rule 24 on Toy Story, you know, like the porn version of Toy Story. What would you call it? Sex Toy Story, you know, maybe Sex Toy Story. Does that work? Dildo Story, it's called. It's called, yeah. We came out with the porn version of Toy Story. It's called Dildo Story. It's the gay version, starring Martin Phillips. So Martin comes out looking like a string puppet, right? And it's, again, we're not making fun of him because he has a physical ailment. We're making fun of him because he's a comedian, you know? Quote unquote, he's a comedian. This is fair game. This is how the shit works. If you're not with it, change the channel, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because we're making fun of Martin Phillips. Now, this guy, not only does he walk like he just came out of a goddamn dryer. He walks like he has vertigo. Those legs are looking stiff. Looking a little stiff. But he talks like that, too. Listen to this guy. This is a RFK Jr.
Oh, man, how cool. Anyway, I was on the road, and a lady DM'd me, and she said, hey, I'll show you around town. And my pussy.
And she said, I'll show you around town. And also, my pussy, yeah, the crowd is going wild. This guy sounds crazy, man. And this is why I justify it. Is because this guy is not like a regular person with an ailment. You know what I mean? Like anyone with a normal functioning brain that has an ailment like this, they're going to go with the flow a lot, you know, especially if they're a comedian. They're going to know what the deal is. They're going to roll with the punches as people fucking bust their balls. You know, that's how the shit works. I once watched this asshole. He goes on Kill Tony. He's a bucket pool. They bring him up. He does his set. Everyone's laughing at him. Not with him. At him. And after that, one of the comedians, you know, Tony interviews these guys. While Tony's interviewing them, this guy's telling a story. He's like, so I was driving around with my girlfriend, and I was driving the car. And the comedian is like, oh, wait, hold up. He's like, you drive the car? Like, you're the one who's driving? Martin Phillips loses his goddamn mind on the fucking guy. Like, ready to fucking literally, like, destroy this man. He's like, oh, what? You don't think I can drive? What? Cause you think I'm fucking, like, retarded? It starts freaking the fuck out on the guy. It's like, you can't do that, man. You have to, like, read the room. You have to know where you're at. Act like you've been here before. You know, you're trying to tell me this guy doesn't go to the green room in the back of the comedy mothership and get his ass ripped to fucking shreds? There's no way Shane Gillis is letting everything that this guy do with a pass. You know what I mean? It's not happening. So this guy comes onto the scene, you know, like Chelsea Handler coming onto the scene, you know, looking like Woody from Toy Story. It's kind of fucking crazy. But that's not it. It's not just the minute that he has for his entertainment value. You know what I mean? This guy, he's trying to do like a hat trick. You know, he brought the minute. He brought the outfit. What's the third act that we're going to bring on to complete the hat trick? I'll show you right now.
I love it, Martin. This is a very special look.
Oh, I'm a cowboy, baby.
Oh, shit! I love that. Look, Kid Rock goes over, shakes his hand. He goes, I'm a cowboy, baby. Oh, yeah. And Kid Rock gets up, shakes his hand. He goes, yeah, man, you know what? You are a fucking cowboy, man. You're the fucking shit, bro. I'm Kid Rock.
Hell yeah. I fucking love it.
Look, imagine if he said that and Kid Rock got up and instead of shaking his hand, Kid Rock fucking knocks him out, fucking clean cold. Just knocks him out right on stage. The guy just fucking, like, just goes back. Look at that. He goes, I'm a cowboy, Kid Rock. Knock his ass out, Kid. Oh, shit. My bad. Sorry.
I
thought you were going to hit him.
Love it. You look like if Brokeback Mountain had an actual broken back.
You know what? This is actually, I have something special on tonight. Because, you know, I do all these Killers of Kill Tony shows in big theaters, so I have more room to mess around. So right now, I'm wearing $30 tap shoes.
Those are tap shoes?
For those of you that don't know, if you couldn't understand them, see, I've watched these clips over and over again to prep for the show. I speak fluent Martin Phillips. And for those of you who didn't understand him, he said, normally I do these Killers of Kill Tony shows. I'm in a theater, but right now I got this arena. I got all this extra room, so I brought something special to my act. Right now I am wearing $3 tap dance shoes. I'm wearing $3 tap dance shoes, Tony. And this is going to be the big closer. I'm going to tap dance for you guys, right? Yeah. As if Woody, the walking onto the stage, you know what I mean? All that wasn't enough. My shaky little minute, that's just to reel you in. The tap dancing, that's what you're here for. That's where the real money is at. So this asshole's about to tap dance his little heart out, and I'm telling you, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. Watch this.
You know how to tap dance?
I mean, it's just
Does he?
walking, you know?
Oh, okay.
Look, he even says, he goes, well, for me, it's just walking. I just normally walk, and then all of a sudden, tap dancing my ass off.
Well, why don't you put the mic? Why don't you put the mic on the?
Look at the close up on the tap dance shoes. Oh my God, bro! What the fuck? Yo, those are the smoothest shoes I've ever seen. God damn, boy! Look at them. Holy shit! Wait, they're not even laced. I didn't even look at that. They're not even laced. They each only have one lace. Nah, bro, you can't do that. Dude, with how shaky this guy is, like, dude, you gotta have those things laced all the way up, dude. This is how you break ankles and shit. With a guy walking, you saw him. The stiff-ass legs, those tin-man legs. That motherfucker looked like he needed grease. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you can't have him not laced up like this. You're gonna break one of those ankles. And now he's about to tap dance his ass off like Rudy.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you put the mic? Why don't you put the mic on the floor? Let's see if we can pick it up. Hell yeah!
Hit him,
oh
Martin.
shit! This is a first in Kill Tony history.
Get him, Martin.
Who better to be our first tap dancer than the stylings of Martin?
Yeah, yeah. Giddy up, horsey, giddy up. Look, oh, he hit him with the hands. He hit him with the hands.
It's that easy.
It's that easy, he said. God damn, it's that fucking easy. He makes it look easy. Because I'm telling you, you think that you're doing that at home? They should actually put a disclaimer on the bottom of this video and put like a don't try this at home. And not because it's dangerous, because you're never going to be that good, okay? It's never going to happen. You're never going to be as good as Martin Phillips. Watch this. This guy, for those of you just listening at home, he's tap dancing his ass off, but he's got like the energy of like a dog. When you've been at home and or not when you've not been home, I meant to say. I'm sorry. Now I got the energy. Martin Phillips, it's coursing through my veins right now. It's like he has the energy of like when you've not been home all day and like longer than usual, longer than your normal work shift, right? And your dog hasn't seen you. And then when you get home, your dog fucking explodes and they start like going all crazy and they even like making weird noises. They're like, you know what I mean? Because they're so excited to see you. They're so excited to see you. And this is the same kind of energy that Martin has right here when he does his tap dance routine. And it fucking warms my little heart.
Tap dancer than the stylings of Martin.
Get him, Martin. Get him. And then when he starts doing the hands, watch it. Hit him. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. He starts doing the hands from to the front to the back. He goes, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my hometown guy. Oh, he's like doing that with the tap dance routine. Get him, Martin. Put the hit on. Put the hit on, Martin. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. And watch those laces. Watch those laces. Look. Those laces are loosening up, my friend. The lace, I should say. You can't even plural the shit. You can't pluralize that or however you say it. That lace is coming undone.
That easy. It's that easy to do.
It's that easy.
Unbelievable.
And just like the slap chop, it's that easy. Give it up for Martin Phillips. God damn, bro. I mean, if I was Tony, I would have just ended the show right there. I would have been like, I mean, we don't need nothing else, bro. We don't need nothing else from this. You know what I mean? That's it. So now look at this one. This guy that we're about to show right here. This is I think his name is like Jeremiah Watkins or something like that. He used to be the band leader of Kill Tony back when Kill Tony was at the Comedy Store, the fucking lame-ass Comedy Store, bro. Good thing Joe Rogan shut that shit down, bro. Fuck that place, right? I mean, nah, it's cool, I guess. I'm trying to work there someday, so I like it. Yeah, so back when it was at the Comedy Store, this Jeremiah Watkins guy, he used to be like the band leader. You'd think he was like one of the trumpet players or something like that. But this guy, his whole big shtick is he's always like trying to do character work, almost kind of like how Adam Ray is. But Adam Ray, like, he knows how to commit to the bit. Adam, when he goes on in character, he puts on like full ass makeup. Like, if you were far away and you squinted your eyes, you would think he was Dr. Phil. Like, that's how it is with Adam. Jeremiah, not so much. Jeremiah will come out with like just a wig on and like some bell-bottom jeans and a really, really tight t-shirt. And he'll pretend to be a girl. And he thinks it's hilarious. While everyone else around him is like, come on, man, like move on to the next skit. And for some reason, Adam Ray fucking loves this guy. It's like, put it to bed, bro. Just put it to bed. Like, we don't need this shit no more, right? But I wanted to bring this up because, look, earlier in the show, they were making fun of Cam Patterson a lot. They were doing a lot of real racist jokes towards Cam, and I was looking at myself. I was like, oh, it's because Kid Rock is here. Because Kid Rock's probably, like, the most racist, transphobic guy out there, right? You know? Like, you throw Kid Rock in a room with enough black people, and he's going to buy, like, 18 cases of Bud Light and go out back and shoot the fuck out of them with the submachine gun, and that's it. Boycott. You know what I mean? Like, it's over with. So they're all making these racist jokes and stuff like that. Then Jeremiah comes out wearing this wig. Kid Rock doesn't know who this guy is. He probably doesn't realize that this is even a bit. So you could see Kid Rock the whole time. He's getting real uncomfortable because he thinks that like Jeremiah is like an actual trans.
The show, feminist Spacey, one of the famous old band members, a feminist out of Los Angeles, California. How did you become one of the bucket pool girls, feminist?
Kid Rock meet Clit Rock.
Oh, God.
Oh, look at Kid Rock. Look at him. He's like, bro. He's like, I didn't sign up for this shit, bro. He's like, I was cool with hanging around all these blacks, but now you got these trannies on stage, man. It's like, I got a show tomorrow, bro.
Oh, no.
And yes, it's at least 5 inches.
Oh, my God. I cannot even imagine what that pussy looks like. Your beard is unkempt, feminist Stacy.
And listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd. They're giving this Jeremiah asshole nothing. You know what I mean? It's sad to see what this piece of shit has become.
Estrogen build at the moment.
Oh, Jesus, you are extra angry tonight. Look at you. You savage beast.
Yeah, look at him.
It's amazing. All the booze that we've gotten tonight, the place is completely quiet for a feminist in fucking Nashville.
See? Tony noticed it.
Stacy, what are you up to?
Oh, well, I've been in Austin trying to support women's rights to choose so more Kill Tony regulars aren't born.
Okay, like 10 people in the crowd laughed at that.
Why do you make...
Kid Rock still uncomfortable as fuck. Watch this. Kid Rock, look at that. Kid Rock's like, bro, there's like a whole ass tranny on this stage, bro. He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, where's my fucking PR guy, bro? Like, I shouldn't be subject to this. I'm a good, wholesome Christian man. I might have a slave or two. I might, hit women on the side, and I like them underage and whatnot, but I gotta put my foot down when it comes to the transsexuals, man. I'm a good, wholesome Christian man. You know what I mean? I can't deal with this.
Oh, my God. Why do you make these faces? Oh, no, don't do that, feminist Stacy. Oh, no. Oh, God.
Look, now she's rubbing her clitoris. Kid Rock over here about to lose his lunch. Look at him, holding back his tears. He's like, oh, man, I really didn't sign up for this shit, man.
Oh, disgusting.
Mark Norman, I'm going to queef on you next.
No, don't do it, Stacy.
I'll do it.
No, don't do it.
Look at Kid Rock.
hard?
Anyone else hard? Huh?
Feminist Stacy.
Anyone else hard? And Kid Rock's over here looking at his PR guy like, bro, come on, man. You signed me up for this shit, man. Like, yeah, I got drunk with them one time at my house, man, but you got to warn me about this shit, man.
He looks a lot like Jeremiah Watkins, the former band leader of the show out of Los Angeles, California. Many global tours under his...
Yeah, see, now Tony has to pander to he's like trying to fucking get this clapter type shit. He's like, oh, Jeremiah's bombing, so let me see if I can get the crowd to clap for him by telling them that he was the former band leader. Oh, no. Like, yeah, real nice. So, look, remember I was telling you guys about the racist jokes, right? They're not just telling them on stage. They're telling them off stage, too. Look at this. This is David Lucas. He's a D1B, a day one black. You know what I mean? He's the blackest man you've ever seen. Second to Wesley Snipes, of course. So he's about to tell this story about Tony telling this racist-ass joke while they're on the way to Kid Rock's house. Listen to this.
Mark? Kid Rock's got a lot of women, but David was the only one whipped last night.
Oh, racist.
No, can I tell the joke? Can I tell the joke? Driving up to Kid Rock's house?
Sure.
All right, if I tell it, it's not racist. All right.
It's still racist.
So I'm not...
It's still racist. I just want to put that out there. If I tell, I feel like I say this like once a month. I'm Puerto Rican, goddammit. So if I tell a Puerto Rican joke and it's racist, it's still racist because it came from it. Just because it came from a Puerto Rican doesn't make it not racist. You just tolerate it more. That's it. It makes it more palatable for you. It doesn't change the words. They're no different than if it came out of a white man's mouth. You know? You can tell as many racist Puerto Rican jokes as you want. I won't get offended, I promise. I will call the ADL and have Ethan Klein handle it, but I will not be offended. I promise you that. So yeah, David, it's still racist.
The only black person... So I'm the only black person in this Suburban driving up to Kid Rock's Southern Mansion, right? And I noticed that I was the only black person after we had to enter a gate and wind around a curve. And I'm like, damn, it ain't no other niggas in the car. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to me right now.
Big red flag. I'm talking big red flag. Because that's not a statement that gets uttered every day. I'm the only black guy in this car. We're driving up to Kid Rock's house. So you hear that. That's like the movie Get Out, the Jordan Peele shit. It's like, bro, you need to leave, bro. You need to get out that car as fast as possible. If I was David Lucas, I would have tossed my fat ass out the side of the goddamn car and did the tuck and roll. I would have been rolling down that bitch like a fucking set of tires, bro. I would have been out. You telling me I'm the only black guy going to Kid Rock's house? Miss me with that shit.
Right? And I in this Suburban driving up to Kid Rock's Southern Mansion, right?
Southern.
And I noticed that I was the only black person after we had to enter a gate and wind around a curve. And I'm like, damn, it ain't no other niggas in the car. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to me right now. And Tony was like, we actually brought you to fight his other one.
Look at that. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. That's a good old-fashioned racism from my man Tony Hinchcliffe over there. I like that. First it was the Chinese. Then it was the Puerto Ricans. Now it's the blacks. You know? This guy just might be an all-around racist. Not that I care. I love me a good racist joke. The racist jokes are the best ones that Tony tells. Trust me. Go and watch his stand-up set. It sucks. The last special that he put out on Twitter, what the fuck? It sucked, okay? The racist jokes that he tells, they're the best ones. So keep them coming, Tony. No shade here. I just think it's funny because look at how awkward he gets because as soon as David is like, can I tell the joke? Tony was like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can tell it. He's like nervous because of this Netflix deal, right? He's like, now he's got Netflix money on the line. He doesn't want to because now he gets canceled. That development deal money is out the goddamn window.
Brought you to fight his other one.
Yeah. So Tony goes and tells David Lucas, oh, we brought you to fight Kid Rock's slave. You know, Mandingo style. Good old Mandingo style. Look at Tony. Look at how awkward he looks. He goes, oh, man, I hope Netflix is cool with this, man. This, I don't know, man. This might not be the look. Look at Tony's face. Watch him. Watch his face. Oh, yeah. You saw that? You saw that? Oh, Tony, Netflix might get pissed. Watch this. Look at his face. Look at that. Oh, man. I wish I had that violin. Yeah, he knows. He knows. He goes, man, I got to calm down with the racism or Netflix might end up canning me.
I was like,
and Kid Rock is over there loving it. He goes, yeah, no, I had the guy in the back. We had the whole room set up. Then when you guys got here, they told me you were joking. I didn't even know about that. You know, it's actually kind of fucking crazy, man. So let's give it up for Tony Hinchcliffe and his racist jokes. You know what I mean? You gotta love those racist ass jokes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Them jokes is racist as hell, bro. And that's the way I like them. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see what kind of music we got to end the show on. I like that. So, there we go. That was a nice little Kill Tony segment to end this first episode back of Lost Aux Media. As always, I'd like to thank you for sticking around this long and ending the show with me. If you ever want to stay up to date with anything Lost Aux Media, be sure to check out lostaux.media. That's lostaux.media. Stay up to date with all things Lost Aux. You can follow us on our socials, and if you want to support the show, you can buy merch to do so. As always, shows are on Wednesdays, right? Normally, we were doing the audio episodes at 5 a.m. and the video episodes uploaded at 4 p.m. on Wednesdays, and I would do the live chat with you guys. Well, things are going to change a little bit. We're still going to do the audio uploads at 5 a.m. That way you can listen on your way to work. But we're going to change the video uploads and the live chat premieres to 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. That way, I'll be able to, chat with you guys. Hopefully some of you will be off of work by then, and we can have a better listening experience. So be sure to stay up on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. for next week's episode. Thanks again for coming. Thanks again for joining me. I'm so excited to be back. I'm happy that you guys stayed this long. Until next time, goodbye.